Please take the time to visit podsurvey.com/peasants to complete a short 21-question survey. Participants in the survey will be entered into a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. The survey can be taken multiple times, so feel free to visit back each month for your chance to enter the drawing. Please help support the show by using our Amazon links located in the description anytime you purchase anything from Amazon. It's a great way to support the show while just going about your normal business shopping on Amazon.com. Also, check out our storefront for Drunken Peasants recommended merchandise. Patreon pledges of $5 or more will now receive 2 private shows each month. In addition to the private shows, Patreon pledges of $10 or more will receive the Drunken Peasants post show after each episode of the Drunken Peasants, Ben and Billy's monthly shitty movie review, and regular behind-the-scenes vlogs with Ben and Billy. Sign up anytime to catch the future shows as well as past content. If you want to catch the post shows but you're not a patron, click the join link below this video to become a member of the Drunken Peasants channel. In addition to each post show, you'll also get special badges and emojis that you can use in the Drunken Peasants live chat. Streamlabs will be open for the duration of each episode. Click the link below to send us a message. Donations $20 and above will be read out through text-to-speech and will require our immediate attention. All donations below $20 will be read at the end of each segment. Keep an eye out for our weekly Streamlabs goal, which if we meet, we will do an extra show the following week. If you find any content you'd like to see us cover on the show, send it to drunkenpeasantsinbox@gmail.com. All submissions will be reviewed for possible usage in a future episode. Click the Discord link in our description to join the Drunken Peasants Discord. Interact with other Drunken Peasants fans in text and voice chat, as well as the peasants themselves. Visit the Google Play Store and download the Drunken Peasants app to catch the audio version of the show while you're on the road. In addition to the app, the audio-only version of the show is also available through iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, and other audio platforms. That's all we have for now. Enjoy the show.
Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on you, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 539. Yes, and I can tell as usual, YouTube only alerted probably, I don't know, like 2% of our subscriber base. So for those of you who are here early, please like the stream, share the stream, retweet it, share it on Facebook, whatever you use for social media. Get the word out there.
2% would be cool if this was milk.
Yeah.
When I got to the stream today,
they had turned off my notifications. So
really,
they kicked you out of the notification gang?
Yep.
Wow. Ring that bell.
So, Skep Talk, level with us here. So, did Jared's parents kick him out of the house and let you move in?
No, I remodeled my surroundings to be more like, you know, a professional YouTuber.
Oh, like a real man.
Right?
I'm a real man.
Is your dad gonna come take your computer away?
You know, but I've made sure to do my chores first, and the only brown marks are on the inside of my room. I wiped them off the outside.
Skep,
so.
I don't know. There is kind of like every time you talk, there is kind of like a high pitch kind of squeal that comes through your microphone.
Let me change my settings.
Okay. Yeah. Did you hear that?
A little bit.
It's like a computer fan spinning or something.
A little bit. I thought you were talking about the autistic screech that would be from somebody in
I'm a real man!
In that living quarters would have to have that screech.
While he's working on that and before we get the show underway, we may have a fourth person joining us soon. We just don't know when they're showing up. Also, what were you saying?
Is that any better?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah. Anyway, so Brave browser, all of you should be watching this using the Brave browser. If you're not, use the link in the description. And coming up at the beginning of next month, start checking your Brave wallet for those tokens,
Because when those tokens come in, we just need you to send them to us, please.
Sweet tokens.
Do you have the screen share on?
Oh shit! I think I forgot to do that.
All good.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Notifications are only for right-wingers? Damn it. We used to be an obscure right-wing podcast. And then SJW ruined everything.
You're not an SJW. You're not. I've literally seen comments from women in the comments saying they can't watch this because of the way you talk about women.
Really?
You're surprised?
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, it's true. I've seen
Women say that?
Oh, yeah.
Weird. They're usually too busy looking at me for my sexy good looks.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
To think about the things I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm so crass. I got to win over those dudes. Dudes are crass. The women are already on board.
Sure.
They're like, look at Flavio over here. I want to ride his roller coaster, get the bird to the face. That was a dated reference.
Yeah. Wow. Ooh. So, Brave Browser, yes, please give us those sweet tokens. We've been getting a lot of those, and they really help the show. If only you could make sure that you send them to us. That would mean so much to us.
And if you want to help out and you're lazy about it, they do have a subscription system through Brave Browser, so you can automatically contribute to channels.
My mom just texted me to thank you for saying that. I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, and you know what? You didn't have to do that, so I can at least commend your honesty. But yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, thank you, Ben. Damn it. I guess I'm turning over a new leaf. I thought just
tell Dusty the cockatiel that he's.
I knew that was coming eventually.
Dusty, this will be about the 10th time I've said this, but you really need to realize that you are a beautiful bird.
Hey, I don't care how many times you have to say it for him to get
right.
it.
Yeah. I don't think I've said it recently. I thought if I just said I was an SJW and if I just said I was a sweet boy that I could get away with anything.
Nope.
You serious?
I'm serious.
Son of a bitch.
They let me do whatever I want. If you're a sweet boy, they just let you start kissing them.
Yeah.
They just let you kiss them and grab them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. I grab them by the attention span.
No, you don't.
Oh, that's my job.
Nope.
I'm a front runner in the mind space. I just grab them by
on
their
MySpace?
head, on their mind space.
Oh. I was like, yeah, you might be at that level.
I grab them by their brain testicles. I fondle their brain testes. That's my job.
I see. Okay.
It's my job.
No. Also, just in case you haven't heard, we are hosting a debate next month. Thursday, March 14th. Doug Tenaple, Destiny, debating multiple subjects that I know they won't agree on at all. So I was very careful because I watched both of these guys talk quite a bit, and I know that they won't agree at all on these things. So,
Billy, how are you going to deal with not being able to randomly defend arbitrary positions during someone else's argument?
Oh, I'm not too worried about it. Like, I figure I'm here. If these guys get out of hand, I just got to lay down the law, right? I'm like the Steve Wilkos. I'm the enforcer.
Actually, I would be.
You are?
Yeah, because like if anyone needed to be muted or whatever, but I would have to do that.
Yeah, you would do all that stuff. I would just, I'd be like, I'll give him a knuckle sandwich.
But you wouldn't be able to.
But like a verbal sandwich.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think that Doug and Destiny both have the gift of gab, and it will be interesting to see how civil they can be, because I feel like they both kind of play when it comes to their ideas. They wait for the other person to go too far, right? So it'll be interesting to see Doug and Destiny have that stalemate of chess.
Yeah, and when I told Doug who he was debating, he was like, "Oh, I hate that guy. He's an asshole." So I'm like, "Damn, it's already at that point."
Yeah.
what else do we have going? Oh, last night, if you missed the private show, you should sign up. Like, if you're a patron already or you're on Subscribestar, you definitely want to catch last night's private show. I tortured Billy for 3 hours with Chris Chan. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback about it, so sorry, Billy. It's probably going to happen again. Maybe not the very next private show, but one of the next coming up. We still have that classic, like, old school commercial and old school news clip thing to do. We never did that. So that'll probably...
Tell Dusty the cockatiel that he's a beautiful bird for the 11th time.
For the 11th time, Dusty, you are a beautiful bird. I have no problem saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, so
now if you cook Dusty and you ate him for dinner,
I want to finish talking about what I need to talk about.
Would he make a beautiful turd?
Please let me finish talking what I need to talk about. All right, so we just set new goals on Patreon as well. So if right now our combined Subscribestar and Patreon is over 4,500, as long as it stays that way, our private shows will be at least 3 hours long. But if we can get our combined amount over 5,000, that means the next show will be at least 4 hours long. And it goes all the way up to 6,000. If we ever did manage to get to 6,000, which, you know, I thought it would never happen again, but in reality, we've had a surge in Patreon recently. So if we do ever get it up to that, guys, if we could manage 6,000 a month, the private show will be at least 6 hours long. Billy's not happy about that.
Not at all.
Whatever. He's my indentured servant.
I don't know what I did to deserve this. I've always been a sweet boy. I've always
You're
played by the rules.
You're a disgusting misogynist.
I don't think I am.
Yes.
No.
Even your mother thinks so.
My mom is a little biased.
What? She should be biased in your favor, not against you.
No, because she knows me better than anybody. She's jealous.
She's jealous. Dude, all right. So, since I know your mom's watching right now, last night your son agreed to have a psychologist come on the show and psychoanalyze him.
For a private show.
Oh, a private show.
I don't want people just seeing inside my brain for free.
Well, we'll figure it out, but I think that's a great idea.
We'll just be like a 3, 4, 5, 7 hour psychiatry session.
Yeah, we'll figure out why you were such a naughty boy in school.
We'll see.
Why your teachers couldn't deal with you.
Some of them loved me.
I like how you divert to that.
It was just the egomaniacs that I had to put in their place.
Was it just that you didn't put your own egomania
those
in its place,
who can
William?
do, those who can't teach. They didn't like my can-do
I like how
attitude.
It's just everybody else's problem and never you.
I mean, I'll be honest. I am everybody else's problem if they think I'm a problem. If you think I'm a sweet boy, we get along just fine.
You have this crazy circular logic. That's what that is.
You could say it's crazy. I think that there's a plan.
We'll let the professionals decide. How about that?
The world goes in motion. This is gravitational pull, man.
We'll let a professional decide.
We'll see.
Do you think there's any way we could get Shane Dawson to come document it?
Maybe we can get the girl that was the psychologist in Shane Dawson's thing to be the guest on the episode. Could see if she'd be willing to do a live session. I think she's actually a psychologist though, so maybe she would think that was unethical. I'm not sure.
I mean, we could have a psychologist that isn't actually, neither one of us is under their care. And we could get them to come in and just do kind of we'd probably have to sign a waiver saying this is not an actual therapy session.
Yeah, what if I break
Dr.
down
Phil does that shit when you're on his show. Yeah, because he's not even licensed in the state he films in.
What if I break down and cry?
That will be fucking gold. Please do. Please do. I wish we had like we could have you like lay on the couch there. I wish we could find some German psychiatrist that looks like Sigmund Freud to come in.
Maybe we should put out an ad on Craigslist.
On Craigslist? We might end up getting something very different.
We'll see.
On Craigslist.
You could just sign up for that app, that one that everybody got in trouble with.
Oh, yeah. What was it? BetterHelp. Yeah, Boogie was doing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got
Boogie and Lacey and Phil DeFranco.
Shane Dawson had it in his video.
I mean, it's none of their fault. I mean, like, I guess Phil DeFranco had a closer relationship to it.
It was kind of his thing, right? He was behind it.
So I don't know, but the people who were just like, "Hey, you want a sponsor?" and they're like, "Yeah," I don't really think they had. I can't really blame them that much until like when they knew the details about what it was, they disavowed it. So that's all you can really do.
I wonder if they still got paid though for what they.
They should if they advertised for it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Someone said bring back weird Craigslist ads. Craigslist banned personal ads.
That's so sad.
It was the same time Backpage got taken down because people were using Craigslist basically as Backpage. So
does Facebook's marketplace have a personal section?
I don't know, but that's probably where it moved to. If they do, I don't know.
Should we do a segment called "Firing on All Tinder Blocks"? And I'll sign up for Tinder, and we'll see all the women that respond to me. That'd be kind of rude putting them out there, huh?
Yeah,
their private things when they say all their gross stuff to me that women say on platforms like that because women are nasty.
You're really working with all cinder blocks. All right, so I guess we're gonna get into the news. Here we go.
Our boy Alex Jones on Joe Rogan this week was nuts.
Yeah, we could talk about that a little bit. I don't have any footage because I don't want to get trigger a content ID or anything.
I saw Alex Jones there and I was like, man, that was nuts.
He kept calling his drink apple juice.
Apple juice.
I'm drinking some apple juice right now. But he had to get up and pee so many times. That dude was definitely drinking alcohol. And the way he was acting,
probably had some coke.
Yeah, dude.
Some uppers, definitely, right?
I've never been to Joe Rogan's studio, but I know people who have, and I'm told there is a lot of booze and a lot of weed there at the very least.
I imagine, yeah.
And he's got like all kind like pool table and all kinds of cool shit in there. But yeah, he'll make you some drinks. You'll have a good time. Loosen up there.
Somebody in the pleb chat says, "Hey Bill, how do you feel about SJW attacking you?" And I'm a fucking warrior, so it's like, come at me, brah. I don't care if it's SJW or Nazi or cuck or whatever you want to call him.
He was also trying to get that one guy to choke him out, and they're like, "You're not gonna like that. That's not gonna feel good." He's like, "Oh yeah, try it out. You never know what'll happen."
Come choke me out.
Yeah,
I like how old Alex Jones was so much different.
Yeah.
Like, he's changed into this creature now that is basically a wrestling character. Before, he was like the doomsayer.
They're bringing the babies back to life and killing them after they resuscitate them.
Damn it. I knew it.
I think that the reason behind that is because they took his platforms away. So in order to be heard, he has to be louder. It's kind of like, if you had a speaking engagement, so you just went out front with a bullhorn. Right?
Well,
so
he was out front with the bullhorn 20 years ago. That was what he did. But he was speaking on like he called the 9/11 attacks before they happened. He was like on the different side of the political climate almost. I guess he was always against the government, but now it's to a point where
he's not. I mean, he's only against some of the government now. The guy who's running our government, he's for. This is the first president in my lifetime that Alex Jones has supported.
It's because Trump is not the government, right?
Right. Well,
the government hates Trump.
Yeah, but did you notice he uses the term "the government" as like a blanket statement?
Yeah.
To like whoever he doesn't like that's in charge.
Yeah.
The government.
Right. The government. The Bilderbergs. And before he got deplatformed, he was still this WWE wrestler style character. It was just like 20 years ago, he was more tame, and everything he said, it had a base of fact to it, and it was still that conspiracy theory mindset. But I think we all had the friend that smoked a lot of weed and got into conspiracies when we were younger, right?
Sure.
Like,
there was always that kid at the lunch table that always told the bullshit stories.
Yeah.
And you're like, this guy's full of shit, but I don't want to argue with him, so I'm just not going to say anything. And I have a feeling that was you.
No, I was fucking smartest person in the room all the time. But as as things like progress with people like that, they do kind of go crazy because they're always buried in these conspiracies they can't prove. And they have this belief that it goes further and further down the rabbit hole, and they go further and further down until they crack themselves. And now with Alex Jones, this guy is talking about every single fantasy world that could exist. Like if there was an Alex Jones movie universe, it would be crazier than anything Tolkien could write. It'd be crazier than Marvel. It would be amazing.
I like how he basically admitted that he did say Sandy Hook was a hoax, but now he changed his mind. It's like, no shit. You have to go to court over it. Of course you're going to say you changed your mind now to get out of it.
Right.
Yep.
That rabbit hole is always just it does not end. It just gets deeper.
It's true. It's true. And he's gotten crazier over time. Things get weirder and weirder over there. I don't really know. I mean, it was entertaining to watch. What can I say? I knew Alex Jones was entertaining when I saw him just fucking steamroll Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
And Piers Morgan had never talked to a English people are so polite. And polite isn't necessarily the same thing as nice or friendly. Of course, there's nice English people, but most English people are just very, very polite. That does, I mean, like, they won't tell you that they think you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So Piers Morgan is still in BBC mode interviewing Alex Jones, and Alex Jones is like, yeah, we can go into a boxing ring. I'll wear the red, white, and blue. You can wear your Jolly Roger over there. And it's like, wow. And right after that, within a week, he was on Howard Stern because of that.
Yeah.
And then, like, he skyrocketed after that because people were like, this guy is fucking crazy. Anyone who wasn't aware of, like, I found out about Alex Jones from watching his Bohemian Grove documentary that he made back in the day. But that exposure on Piers Morgan really got him mainstream attention.
Yeah. I was following him for a long, long time just because my dad watched a lot of that, like, conspiracy radio, like Art Bell, Coast to Coast and stuff.
I love that, but that's all bullshit. Like, that's kayfabe.
Yeah.
Dude,
my dad
a lot of that is kayfabe. Well, I'll tell you what, though. I know someone who goes on there seriously, and it's not kayfabe.
Oh, no?
Howard Bloom, who's been on DP quite a few times. Yeah. But he's also like an 80-year-old man that claims he can do 1,000 push-ups.
Yeah.
So there you go.
My dad wanted to ride Hale Bopp Comet back in the day and go off with the
Heaven's
aliens.
Gate.
Yeah.
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, then when Heaven's Gate all killed themselves, he was like, oh, wow, well, I'm glad I didn't do that one.
Yeah, he would have drank the poison Kool-Aid.
He was really onto it.
So let's take a look at the first story we have today. This is the first one I saw when I woke up this morning. Looks like Trump and Kim Jong-un could not reach a deal, according to what I've heard. So what Trump's version of the story is, you know, they wanted all of the economic sanctions removed in order to end their nuclear weapons program. And Trump didn't want to remove them all. And I get it, because the nukes are... That's only the biggest issue with North Korea. There's also the human rights violations, the work camps, the forced starvation, the arranged assassinations of people, including his own brother. You know, so there's so much to deal with. So I'm not bothered by Trump not taking the deal. But also, like, the story that North Korea is telling is that that's not true, and that they only asked to have some of the sanctions removed. So who knows?
The art of the deal.
Here's the story.
Well, President Trump did not.
I would say Kim Jong-un is one of the people on earth that I would actually trust less than Trump. So
An agreement with North Korea's Kim Jong-un in Vietnam.
They're so
During
perfect
their second
for each
summit,
other,
Mr.
though.
Trump said that Kim asked the U.S. to lift all economic...
It's crazy to see them stand next to each other, because Trump looks like he's like a foot taller.
He is, yeah.
And you know what? You know what else? This is historic right here. This is the first time Kim Jong-un has ever been openly asked questions that were not pre-screened from the Western media.
Really?
Yes. This has never happened. And you can tell he's uncomfortable, and he gives a kind of bullshit answers at first.
Sanctions on his
Onision
country
answers,
that
or
only
kind of
offered to dismantle one nuclear site.
Only Onision's a pro at it because he does it every day. Kim Jong-un is not used to that at all.
I like to think that he gets nervous and starts farting Like that's the Kim Jong-un I believe in.
North Korea disputes this claim, saying that it only asked for partial sanctions relief. However, at a press conference, the president emphasized that his relationship with Kim
this is a terrible
is still
picture.
positive. Margaret Brennan has
Dude, that needs to be screenshot. That is so fucking like, what is this? What a terrible picture. Who took this? Look at.
I like the girl behind them that keeps showing up.
That's
everywhere.
a translator.
Yeah.
Yeah. They each have one behind them. You just can't see.
Okay, I can't see her behind his fat head.
You can kind of see her black hair like over. Yeah.
I love these two guys so much when they're together. Like separate, I'm like, terrible people. But when they're together, I just want to see a fucking rom-com where they fight over the same translator.
She can translate, but does she give the happy ending?
It's still positive. Margaret Brennan has more on the president's reaction.
Yeah, look at the height difference.
Action to the summit.
Well, Trump's 6'4",
Sometimes you have to walk.
Something like that.
It was a high-stakes meeting with a disappointing outcome. After extensive face-to-face talks in a 5-star Hanoi hotel, President Trump said Kim Jong-un's offer was simply not good enough to give up America's...
I like the two world leaders with the worst hair having a summit.
We don't know that though, right? Like
even Putin with his baldness has better hair.
But there's probably some wacky looking world leaders. Like
I've seen a lot of them.
Bernie's got some crazy hair.
He's not a leader. He's not like a
if
world
Bernie
leader.
gets elected in,
Sure,
you think he would? You think his hair is worse than Trump?
Yes.
Wow.
Because Bernie let his hair go old man gracefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Muammar Gaddafi he's dead, but he had some pretty wild hair too.
Leverage.
I don't know.
CBS's Major Garrett asked the president about lifting sanctions.
Basically, they wanted the sanctions lifted in their entirety, and we couldn't do that. They were willing to denuke a large portion of the areas that we wanted, but we couldn't give up.
He doesn't want to say denuclearize, so he just says denuke. He's the first person I ever heard use that phrase, denuke.
All of the sanctions for that.
Will all the sanctions that are currently in existence remain, sir?
They're in place. You know, I was watching as
just say yes.
A lot of you folks over the weeks have said, we've given up. We haven't given up anything.
Kim Jong-un offered, the president said, to totally dismantle the young...
It almost seems like if it's an important thing, like not one of his rallies, if it's a rally, he's well-spoken, he's got, everything going on.
But if it's an
important
thing...
Yeah, well, it almost seems like his tongue is trying to fall asleep and he's fighting it. Like the reason he didn't say denuclearization is because it would come out denuclearization.
I think I want to get into North Korean cuisine.
I mean, I can't imagine it's too different from just Korean cuisine.
I would think it wasn't, right? I don't know.
I mean, their countries haven't been divided for more than 100 years,
But there's been a lot of advancements in South Korea that haven't been in North Korea, right?
I mean, there's been advancements in North Korea. It's just only the powerful elite get them, and then the rest of the people live in squalor.
Yeah, so I want to know what that's like. Because if you go through Eritrean food and Ethiopian food, it's totally different, right?
Yeah, obviously there are differences because it's been, 60, 70 years since the Korean War. So there are differences because, generations have passed, but I think in many ways their culture is still similar. I know physically there's crazy differences between the average North Korean and the average South Korean now, just because of the way people live up there.
Yeah.
So
South Korea is very consumer driven.
South Korea is also one of the most Christian nations in Asia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Young Complex, North Korea's central facility for nuclear research and development, in exchange for sanctions relief. But Secretary of State Mike Pompeo explained that the U.S. wanted more.
Even that facility, even the Yongbyon facility, and all of its scope, which is important for sure, still leaves missiles, still leaves warheads and weapon systems. So there's a lot of other elements that we just couldn't get to.
And for the first time, the president spoke in detail about other sites discovered by U.S. intelligence.
That's a cool looking dude right there.
One of the reporters asked Kim Jong-un if he would allow an American office in North Korea to oversee the denuclearization, and he would not answer that directly. And Trump was kind of like, "Wait, I think that's a good question." And you know what? I I got to give him credit where it's due. I was like, yeah, way to go. Way to press him on it while you're sitting there right in front of him. I applaud him there.
Yeah.
I hope they show that later in this video. I saw that this morning when I was watching the news.
We should always applaud Trump when he gives us a reason
absolutely.
to.
And when he first got into office, I'm like, I want him to do good because he's the leader of the country I live in.
Yeah.
I don't want him to make the country go to shit just so I can say, look, I was right.
Yeah, I want him to be the best president ever. I want every president to be the best president ever. We just don't get that.
Including a second uranium enrichment site that U.S. experts want to inspect.
I think they were surprised that we knew.
It was an abrupt downturn after both leaders had struck an optimistic tone hours earlier.
Are you confident?
Kim Jong-un, in his first ever exchange with a Western reporter, said he had a gut feeling that
person
there's
chair.
going to be good results.
Well, it's too early to tell.
But that goodwill fell short. Still, the president said while he...
It's kind of fucked up how well their flag matches ours. Like, they go very well together.
I'm mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is,
done
right?
Talking for now. He remained friendly with the North Korean dictator.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to totally ruin it. Just because you couldn't come to an agreement, does he want to totally burn the bridge down?
Yeah, still having this open dialogue with a country can, like, it might take years, but it might get there, you know?
This is one thing that Bernie actually commended Trump on.
Yeah.
There's a warmth that we have. Now, I hope that stays. I think it will.
Yeah, okay. No, well, this is a guy who was held hostage. He was an American that was held hostage in North Korea for quite some time. And when they released him and he went home to a doctor, they found he had all kinds of brain damage.
Oh,
and he died shortly after too.
Oh.
So he was tortured and starved and fucked with. I think he was there for years.
Even saying
look, he can't even walk.
It's fucked up. Yeah,
Damn.
it's fucked up to say, but this right here is basically Weekend at Bernie's. He's not there.
He died not too long after this. They cleaned him up, gave him a haircut, and put a suit on him. That's
real?
all they did.
he
Like, look, he okay.
took him at his word when he denied knowing about the harsh treatment of American student Otto Warmbier, who died shortly after being released from a North Korean prison.
I don't believe that he would have allowed that to happen.
What? He allows that to happen every fucking day. You don't believe it? I mean, you had the fucking proof. You had the fucking proof. You don't think he knows what goes on there? He's the fucking supreme leader. He could put a fucking camera in everyone's house if he wanted to.
Right.
Wow, that is an amazing crock of shit right there. Oh, yeah, he just ignores the American they have as a hostage. Yeah, he didn't know they were torturing him, not at all. Just like the Saudi crown prince didn't know they murdered that one guy.
I like Trump's response to that, though. Trump was just like, we do a lot of business with Saudi Arabia. We can't really do anything about it. It's like, holy shit. Not even trying to fucking lie about it or hide it. He's just like, business.
God, man. Like, that's one of the worst things to be neutral on.
This wasn't to his advantage to allow that to happen. Those prisons are rough. They're rough places.
Who allows the prisons to be rough?
Right.
Dude, our prisons are rough in America. People get beaten and raped and murdered in fucking prison all the time here.
And we have accountability and actual rule of law and human rights. And
they don't always make it out in the prison system here.
I know.
We can't go casting stones at those prisons and say, oh, it can't be that rough when we're fucking over here it's that fucking rough. Especially if you're the superstar of the prison, Jared from Subway, Bill Cosby getting guided around by a fucking security guard all the time because he's blind, because they don't want him to get fucking pudding popped. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, they need to protect disabled people in prison. They shouldn't just leave them as sitting ducks. I don't agree. I mean,
they do
even though Bill
sometimes.
Cosby did terrible shit, he's disabled and elderly. I don't think they should let people fuck with him, even though he's a horrible person.
It's not uncommon for someone to have their like life bought in prison and a guard set them up to get fucked up.
Oh, I know.
Or worse.
It happened to Jared in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had it out for Jared. Someone beat his ass in
Subway
prison.
Jared.
Yeah, Subway Jared, not Genesis.
Yeah. We just have to be clear, like Jared Genesis isn't in prison.
Right.
He's in a prison of his own making.
Right.
But
and bad things happened. But I really don't believe that he was I don't believe he knew about it.
Jung Pak is a former CIA analyst and a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. She joins me now from Washington. Jung, we'll get into these talks in just a moment, but I actually wanted to start with the president's comments on Otto Warmbier. Here's how Ohio Republicans...
Otto Warmbier? Oh, yeah. Otto Warmbier?
Yeah, what a terrible name.
Warmbier?
Yeah, I guess Otto is a German name, and Germans do drink their beer warm, so maybe that's okay.
Senator.
It's not real. You know, that's kind of a misconception. They just don't drink it ice cold. Like,
I love ice cold beer. I went to a German bar and they gave me a big ice cold mug. So
I mean, they would
happy.
here. They would in the U.S. But it's not really warm. That's a misconception. It's not ice cold though. It's not like practically frozen like we would drink.
I love that frozen beer, big old mug. That we touch the mug and your lips touch it, and it's like pff, you feel like you're in that Christmas Carol movie where the kid sticks his tongue on the pole, gets stuck. I love that.
Rob Portman had to reacted to those comments.
Well, I mean, I think it's clear that the public security forces knew exactly what.
Somebody's high heels are louder than this guy's microphone.
To tell us that alone is, you know.
Yeah, the Rockettes are walking through the hallway there,
and he's talking like it's ASMR.
I do believe that North Korea would survive if they were to be starved because they're already starved. So why don't we cut off their food supply?
Shows the nature of this regime, and so I have no.
Speak up, you fuck! You got 19 microphones in your face.
Jung, hearing Portman's comments there, is there another way the president could have really approached this issue?
You know, the president's comments about Otto Warmbier were surprising, especially because human rights and Otto Warmbier and his family were such a key part of the president's concerns just a year ago.
I mean, there's been multiple times where Americans have been held prisoner in North Korea. Like, there were hikers that were hiking in China and accidentally crossed, well, they claim they accidentally crossed the border.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't be hiking that close to the North Korean border, for one thing. If they think you might be a spy, then they're just going to assume you are. Yeah. So that's a problem. But yeah, this kind of shit's happened so many times.
There was a YouTuber named Vexed that went to North Korea and like filmed stuff in North Korea.
Yeah, wasn't he around at VidCon?
Yeah, we hung out with him a bit there, but like that was crazy. Like for him to get in there.
Didn't he do like the handstand? Yeah, he did a handstand and got in trouble.
Yeah,
like people came over to him. He was in this place where you could tell it was like actors everywhere. Pretending to be happy and dancing in a square, in a public square. And yeah, he did a handstand and someone came over to him like, don't do that. People are offended by that.
He told me his entire like room got raided multiple times when he was there.
He pretended to live stream, but it was pretty clear that it wasn't live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
No, I don't think so. Because I think like the time of day that it was in the video didn't quite match up with when it was showing. So...
And I think that deflecting attention away from the human rights issue is a mistake. The UN, in a Commission of Inquiry report in 2014, has shown that Kim Jong-un and North Korea is a serial violator of human rights, and to swat that away, I think, is a mistake.
So, Jung, this summit ended with no tangible progress. What's your reaction to that? What advice would you be giving the White House at this point?
You know, there was a flurry of speculation about what would happen, and I think that it would be safe to say that no one really anticipated that that both sides would walk away, and it looks like it did, that both sides did. And I think this points to the dangers of having just a leader-to-leader summit and having too much confidence in that, and also reflects the importance of process, of working-level discussions before we have a summit like this, before we expend time and government resources on this type of meeting.
Jung, who has more leverage now, North Koreans or?
I feel like government resources are like wasted all the fucking time. Maybe I'm wrong, but like it would have been great if they would have figured out a deal and some good came out of this that was tangible. But we still have the president meeting up with somebody who 10 years ago we thought probably would have been
even 2 years ago.
2 years ago, he was calling him Rocket Man. Wanted to bomb him.
Yeah.
This is peace.
Threatening to bomb him.
This is peaceful.
Yeah.
I can't like
that is progress.
It's progress, and you got to give credit there, even if like I don't think Kim Jong-un would have tortured and had that guy.
Oh my God! This show has just gotten more and more right wing as you guys go. Like, if we say something good about Trump, that's what we get. If we say something bad about Trump, we get Orange Man bad. You guys have drift further and further to the left. It doesn't matter. Like, we're so polarized nowadays that if you say anything moderate about either side, you get accused of being on the opposite side. It's so weird. It's like you have to be. We're so tribalistic. You have to be on one side or the other.
We always have been tribalistic. We just used to be more respectful of the other tribes. And now it's like us versus
we
them
used to be able to have more tribes too. It was okay to like not have a polarized stance on every issue.
Yeah.
Where you had to be like 100% one way or 100% the other way.
Well, and I mean, the extremists on either side got louder too. So,
exactly. That's really what it is. I think is that we've given a platform to every extremist has 280 characters or whatever Twitter has. They all have their YouTube.
Not
channels.
everyone.
Well, they have the access to grow and yell, and the people who discern what is news have the ability to go and find that one person that deviates from their talking point to say this is the enemy. This is they're creating champions out of nobodies, and because the one person says the one thing that is the counterpoint to their point, and it's so crazy and out there. If they could say this is their side. This is the left. This is the crazy purple-haired left. And then you go and find
these
the
are
right.
the Nazis.
Yeah,
over here, these are the Nazis.
Yeah, and it's so easy to find the counterpoint that makes you look like the sane one. That it's so easy to paint your opposition as crazy, and that's the problem we have right now. I think it feels like it's us versus them because there are people who are us versus them, and with the conservative side, you know, you have these ideals that you want to hold up, and you care about certain things, and the MAGA hat to you means I want to go back to the way things used to be when we were taken care of.
Well, that's what conservative always is. It's conservation of the past.
Exactly.
It's going back to an idealistic idea of what the past was.
Exactly. And now
there are totally some stuff from back then that I would love to bring back, like the ability to buy a house on a single salary.
Sure.
Which is usually like a union.
But if you notice, that's not what they're advocating for.
Oh no, they don't want that at all. The right does not want a single fucking salary household. They want the corp because the corporation kind of runs both sides. But they're taking it away from the single household salary and making it about feel issues and emotional issues and guns and abortion.
Yeah, and then also the more extreme ones are like, you know, I don't like the gays, I don't like the coloreds.
Yeah, but even the conservatives are drifting away from that as a whole lately.
Not as a whole.
Well, as the majority, they're more accepting of everybody.
As a majority, yes.
Because they don't want to be looked at as the racists anymore. And the left wants to be looked at as, like, they're the ones that care about the feelings of everybody. They want to make sure everybody's accounted for. And it's like, we should all be accounted for despite our religion, race, or fucking sexuality, right? We have enough money in this country to make sure people can feed themselves and live under a roof, and then still have people that can buy multi-billion-dollar yachts and mansions and take trips to Dubai to have sex slave orgies. Like, there's still room for the 1% to live like the 1%, while the bottom doesn't have to feed off of straight dog shit crumbs. They can have some caviar crumbs every now and then.
Caviar crumbs.
Caviar crumbs.
Delish.
So
the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu.
I love that name.
Yeah, you know, I want someone to Photoshop, the Yahoo logo, and make it look like there's a butterfly net inside of it.
You know, juggalos
net in Yahoo.
Juggalos refer to vagina as Nedden.
No.
Juggalos, yeah, that's their Nedden. The juggalettes, their pussy is Nedden.
I guess Benjamin Netanyahu, he was indicted for bribery and fraud.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Huge breaking news out of Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to be indicted. He is also expected to speak any moment now.
This is a wow. Netanyahu faces 1 count of bribery and 2 counts of fraud and breach of trust. It follows a 2-year-long investigation that the Attorney General says turned up evidence of a quid pro quo. Netanyahu's confidants are alleged to have promoted regulatory changes worth hundreds of millions of dollars in exchange for, you guessed it, positive press.
Netanyahu is a close ally of President Trump. He's been in office since 2009. Netanyahu denies any wrongdoing and calls the allegations, surprise, surprise, a witch hunt. The indictment would mark the first time in Israel's history that a sitting prime minister...
What sort of anti-Semitism is this saying that the Jews control the media? This is fucking anti-Semitic. We can't be watching this.
Wow.
Has been charged with a crime.
He's also a very close friend of the Kushner family. When
correct.
he used to visit New Jersey back in the day,
That's right.
he would stay in Jared's childhood bedroom. Joining us now, NBC Foreign Affairs correspondent Matt Bradley. And
Wow. I didn't know Jared Kushner's family was in with like the Israeli politicians.
Yeah, they love the Trump family over there.
Did you know though that Jared Kushner used to, before he married Ivanka, he was buddies with Michael Moore.
Yeah.
He's in that Fahrenheit 11/9 movie.
Yeah.
Like there's old footage of him and Michael Moore hanging out back in the day. It's so weird.
And Paul Rudd and Judd Apatow used to be roommates too. This is like
really.
There's expert Elise Abbott. Matt,
No, it
walk
was
us through
Adam
this. What do you
Sandler
know?
and Judd Apatow.
Well, so far, Stephanie, we're waiting to actually have this indictment. Now, we reported earlier that he actually had been indicted. This is just an announcement by the Attorney General that he intends to indict the Prime Minister.
This guy slept in Jared Kushner's bedroom. This is fucking weird, man. This is weird. Netanyahu, imagine you want to go get your fucking magic card collection out of your bedroom, but you can't wake up Netanyahu. What the fuck is going on?
It's like a technicality, but this could actually take months or as long as 2 years. And the real issue here is that this is coming up on this April election, the legislative elections that really is going to have Prime Minister Netanyahu running for his political life. He's facing strong opposition from the left and the right, and it's going to be a major problem for the Trump administration if Netanyahu doesn't win this election, because that would really put his entire peace plan, which he's been working on with his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as Stephanie mentioned, for about the better part of his presidency. Now, Netanyahu is crucial to this deal. If he loses the elections, or if he's convicted and forced to leave office, then this could really put that whole plan, what President Trump has called the deal of the century, in some very serious jeopardy.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks
The deal of the century. And Trump knows deals, right? He just... Wait, no, he didn't make a deal with North Korea. He wrote a book called The Art of the Deal, though. So... And then Star Wars released a book called The Art of the Deal based on Jabba the Hutt.
And it was like they were saying Trump was Jabba the Hutt?
Well, it was like it came out in 1998 before Trump was ever like a big political figure, but like
I mean, he wasn't a big political figure until just recently.
Yeah, but they released an entire Jabba the Hutt story in the Star Wars universe called The Art of the Deal, and it was obviously a plug at Trump, but like this is back in 98. Like they were calling it as they see it back then.
That's pretty hilarious.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. I definitely was noticing the same thing that the chat was noticing. That reporter, he had a very strange face. Like he looked like he was constantly under like some sort of Instagram filter or whatever.
Yeah,
his eyes were really big. And
people were calling him a Muppet.
Right.
Here's Cohen possibly overheard Trump and Don Jr. discussing Trump Tower meeting.
Oh man!
So like the Russian Trump Tower.
Did you hear what he said under oath about fucking Donald Trump talking about Don Jr.?
What?
Calling him a complete like simpleton, like he could never do anything right, just talking hella shit about him.
Yeah, I heard a little
Frank,
bit.
I've got two for you. This first moment is Cohen
Is this lady
on
about to cry?
collusion, and then I have another.
Yeah, she looks like she's in agony right now.
Questions have been raised about whether I know of direct evidence that Mr. Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia. I do not. And I want to be clear, but I have my suspicions.
And then, Frank, a few moments later, we were treated to this.
I remember being in a room with Mr. Trump, probably in early June of 2016, when something peculiar happened. Don Trump Jr. came into the room and walked behind his father's desk, which in and of itself was unusual. People didn't just walk behind Mr. Trump's desk to talk to him. And I recall Don Jr. leaning over to his father and speaking in a low voice, which I could clearly hear, and saying, "The meeting is all set." And I remember Mr. Trump saying, "Okay, good, let me know."
Okay, Frank, so to your investigative ears, critique both of those moments.
Well, let's do the last one first, which is this issue of how you interpret Don Jr. leaning over, saying that the meeting is set. Barbara mentioned earlier how important it is that whatever Cohen provides is pieced together with other parts of the puzzle. And what I like to remind people of is that Mueller has much of that puzzle in place, and much of that comes in the form of classified intelligence, grand jury material, human sources of information, technical sources of information, and the entire panoply of techniques from the U.S. intelligence agencies and allies. So what does that mean? It means that you can put people in times and places. You've interviewed dozens and dozens of people. You've checked video surveillance of building CCTV and security cameras. And if this piece of the puzzle fits into a timing of a theory that Trump knew about the meeting and knew its purpose, then this has been extremely helpful. Now,
I don't know. I just don't. I don't feel. I don't care yet, I guess.
I mean, we can't know anything until the investigation's done. We can speculate innocence the entire time. We can speculate guilt the entire time. But there's a reason that this is done. As long as it's being done, we're dealing with the fucking president, sitting president of the United States of America, on some possible criminal charges. If every I isn't dotted and T crossed, it's gonna blow up big.
Yeah.
And the FBI doesn't half-ass things.
Sure. Yeah,
They have a
I'm gonna wait
90%
until
conviction rate.
I'm gonna wait to like really be enthusiastic about it when I hear that there are charges being filed.
They have a 90% conviction rate.
Yeah.
That's why it's taking so long.
So, quick announcement, because there's like 3 times as many people watching now as there were when I said this at the beginning of the show. Please like the stream. Please make sure you're still subscribed to this channel. People get unsubscribed all the time, so it's good to double check. Make sure you share the stream. Do whatever you can to get it out there, to get more people in here to watch. And if you could, please use our link in the description below to download the Brave browser. Watch every episode of DP with the Brave browser, and once a month you will get an allotment of tokens to send to us. And if you send those to us, you give us money without having to do anything extra, but just use a browser. And if it didn't help, I wouldn't mention it so much, but it does.
It does. And if you guys would like, next time you're out with friends, just bring up Drunken Peasants in conversation. If they don't know what it is, tell them about it. Tell them to come check us out.
Yeah, and they'll tell 2 friends.
Yeah.
And they'll tell 2 friends.
Yeah.
Just bookmark this stream on
So check
every
this
computer.
out. I cannot believe this is actually an issue, but there are some presidential hopefuls that are campaigning on slavery reparations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turning to the 2020 presidential race, some Democratic candidates are being asked about coming forward whether they favor reparations for slavery on the campaign trail.
We've got to recognize, back to that earlier point, people aren't starting out on the same base in terms of their ability to succeed. And so we have got to recognize that and give people a lift up. And there are a number of ways to do it. Part of my initiative, again, around the LIFT Act is that same point. You're lifting people up who are making less than $100,000 a year.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, and they should.
Yeah.
They should give people a lift up that are making under $100,000 a year. We should have more opportunity to people who are struggling. We shouldn't be forced to work paycheck to paycheck and choose between healthcare or going into work
Now,
or eating fucking dinner and
That
shit
was
like that.
that statement wasn't based specifically on race.
No.
But the identity politics shit will turn people off. The whole, you know, give black people money because black people were slaves over 100 years ago.
I mean, there are businesses
that won't go over well.
There are businesses that are going on right now that benefited from slavery 150 years ago, and they are very rich businesses. If I was black, I would maybe do a class action lawsuit against these companies that are still running, and I would sue their ass for reparations if I really wanted reparations, because there are multiple companies that have grown off the back of what
the
their
people
ancestors
running
did.
those companies now are not responsible.
But those
for-
companies have a debt to pay to
I don't
these
think-
people.
I
I would make it a civil action. I would go against them.
Statute of limitations is over.
I mean, then I would make it a social attack towards these
People were
companies.
doing something that was legal at the time that had to be made illegal.
And if you want reparations, I would go after the ones that still exist off the back of your ancestors, and I would take it to the fucking.
Well, Billy, I
forefront.
think you need to straighten out your issue with women first and how you say disgusting things about them.
I don't.
Before you figure
I
out this
respect
other
women more
social
than I respect
justice
men.
Long believed.
I just don't respect
that
many
this
people at all.
country should resolve its original sin of slavery, and that one of the ways we should consider doing that is through reparations for people who are the descendants of slaves. It is interesting to me.
How are you going to prove they're a descendant of slaves?
I mean, don't they have history? Like, isn't that the whole show on PBS where they go back and take people's blood test and all these?
So not
people-
only are you going to pay for a bunch of reparations, you're going to pay for a bunch of DNA tests.
I mean, when you go to do a lawsuit,
You're going to
or
give
something-
every person with African ancestry in the United States a DNA test to somehow figure out if they were a slave at one point.
or maybe they go part of the class action
This
lawsuit.
is such bullshit. There's no way this is a good idea.
Okay.
There are so many
Good
more
ideas
recent
don't succeed.
There's so many more recent like problems that still exist that we could solve instead, like the minorities who are, you know, stuck in what's the word for the projects, right? The low income housing areas that they've been secluded to over a lot of time, different, you know, governmental systems that just kept people down in those areas. We could undo those and, you know, help fix a lot of current problems.
Fuck slavery. Let's have a reparations for crack that was brought in by the CIA in the 1980s. Let's have crack reparations.
I'm Jesse Ventura, and you're watching Conspiracy
It's not a
Theory.
conspiracy.
Okay.
We had I'm Baton say that he was basically a soldier drug running for people.
That did he work for the CIA? That's a totally different point that you're making there.
The government.
The government's bringing babies back to life and killing
It's
them.
not a different point. It's another instance of the same point I was making.
No, you said, okay,
I said that because that was another point where it was in contingency.
The CIA bringing crack in is not the same thing as the it's a totally different issue when the military is drugging people. I'm not saying one's good and one's not.
I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm saying it's an instance of the same thing.
I don't think it's because drugging soldiers for the purposes of war, while still wrong, is different than releasing crack into poor populations.
He was saying he was basically getting the drugs processed for other countries that they were aligned with, right? That's what he was saying. I mean, maybe I'm putting words in his mouth. That's what I picked up from it. And that's someone who watches the show, you know? That's someone who, firsthand, and yeah, it's not any sort of factual evidence. It's hearsay or whatever. But the CIA thing, that's not hearsay. That happened. It's not a conspiracy. There's history of the CIA letting drugs into the country, letting other regimes build off of their drug running.
Okay, so now the topic you're arguing is a lot more broad than what you originally said. You're saying the CIA has at one time let drugs in. What you were implying before was that the CIA purposefully put crack in poor neighborhoods so that black people would get addicted to it, and then it would be easier to incarcerate them. That's way more specific than just saying, oh, at one time the CIA, one time or another, the CIA has happened to let drugs into the country for various reasons.
If you let drugs in the country,
I mean, first
while
of all,
you start
crack
a war
doesn't
on
have
drugs,
to be. First of all, crack doesn't have to be smuggled into the country to make. You know, all you need is cocaine to make it, right?
yeah, and you smuggle the cocaine in from Colombia. That's how it happened. There's a pipeline here. You create the problem and you offer the solution with the war on drugs while bringing the drugs in to benefit your country or to benefit your operations for your CIA plans. Like, you watching Alex Jones right now? I'm just saying, if you want to get reparations going, there's many points here that you could probably have a case built on. And you could probably make a strong case for the crack epidemic being something worthy of reparations.
And otherwise, that we compensate people if we take their property. Shouldn't we compensate people if they were property?
There are massive disparities that must be addressed. There is legislation that I like, introduced by Congressman Jim Clyburn. It's called the 10-20-30 legislation, which
So let's take a look at this, just so we know for sure. Here's the article. CIA involvement in Contra cocaine trafficking. A number of writers have alleged that the United States CIA was involved in cocaine trafficking during the 1980s. These claims have led to investigations by the United States government, including hearings and reports by the United States House of Representatives, Senate, Department of Justice, and CIA's Office of the Inspector General. The subject remains controversial. See, so far it sounds like there were rumors, it was investigated, and so far nothing's been proven conclusively.
Is that what that said right there? Was nothing's been proven conclusively?
It says the subject remains controversial.
Yeah.
CIA involvement in trafficking is usually alleged to be connected to the Contra War in Nicaragua or the Iran-Contra affair during the Reagan administration. In 1986, its spokesman acknowledged that funds from sales of cocaine smuggled to the U.S. had helped fund the Contra rebels, but said that the smuggling was not authorized by the U.S. government or resistance leaders. So, let's see. So, the charges of CIA involvement in Contra cocaine trafficking were revived in 1996 when a newspaper series by reporter Gary Webb in the San Jose Mercury News claimed that the trafficking had played an important role in the creation of the crack cocaine drug problem. Webb's series led to 3 federal investigations, none of which found any evidence of any conspiracy by the CIA or its employees to bring drugs into the United States.
Yeah, because they know how to cover their tracks.
Owned.
Owned.
Billy takes the L. Billy takes the L.
Watch the Tom Cruise movie that came out. I think it's called American Made. Watch that and see why.
Damn.
See why there was no.
I missed that Tom Cruise documentary.
Yeah. See why there was no.
That documentary starring Tom Cruise.
See why there was no paper trail, because they know what the fuck they're doing.
It was the aliens.
Look, guys, if there's no evidence and it's because
they're just trying to build the crack cocaine up so they can give it to the aliens in Area 51.
Okay.
Focuses federal resources in a very significant way on distressed communities, communities that have high levels of poverty. So as I've just indicated, I think we have to do everything that we can to end institutional racism in this country.
Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Where's the institutional racism? Like,
I mean, a couple of good examples were like what I was bringing up, where they have voter blocks that are, gerrymandered to the point of where minority votes just don't work anymore.
That is a good point. That is a good example, because they did things where they stopped accepting IDs that they knew the majority of minorities had.
Right.
That sort of stuff. Sure.
Yep.
That is true. And that's because they know if less, if less minorities vote, there's less of a chance of, a Democrat getting more votes. So
Right. We can keep the
My
white old
$50
men in
Stream
power.
Labs didn't show, and yes, Billy is right. I personally helped the U.S. bring drugs into the country, not in the 80s but in the early 2000s.
Right, and you didn't work for the CIA. I don't believe you said that.
No,
we were talking about I was talking about the CIA purposefully planting crack cocaine into black neighborhoods to get them addicted, so that it would be not only would they be at the mercy of the addiction, but then it would be easier to incarcerate them. That's the conspiracy theory. I'm saying I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying it's not a fact.
Whether or not it was a conspiracy theory, it was the product of what happened. Like,
well, I mean, someone figured out that you can save money by crystallizing cocaine, and you'll get high off of it, and it'll last longer than it would be if you bought a bag of Coke.
Yeah.
That doesn't, I mean, like, and it's not something that necessarily takes a genius to find out.
Do you remember when the world went crazy back in 1985? Do you remember when?
I mean, I was 4 years old in 1985.
Till one day in my neighborhood, motherfuckers start clocking Fetty. Too short. Blowjob Betty.
And also stated support for reparations to the New York Times last week. But questions remain. What exactly would policy look like? Joining me here in New York is The Intercept senior political editor, Brianna Joy Gray. And joining me in Washington is Washington Post reporter Eugene Scott. So, Eugene,
where's all the reparation talk here, by the way? Like, so far we've heard like a little bit about reparations. Bernie was talking about, the one guy, and then they coupled it with Bernie and Kamala Harris, who were not talking reparations. This is an interesting piece here. We're creating a little bit of separation news. Accepting friends in Pokemon Go? Maybe.
And by the way, if you sent in a Streamlabs and it didn't show, or if it was under $20, we'll read it at the end of the news segment here.
For a second here, what is the issue and why is it coming up right now on the campaign trail?
Hi, well, it's coming up because of a few interviews conducted by a reporter at the New York Times with the Democratic 2020 candidates regarding reparations. And given that, it's led more candidates to weigh in, giving their thoughts. Most recently, Bernie Sanders at the CNN town hall earlier this week. There is some interest within the black community. More than 50% of African Americans do support reparations. But a recent poll...
Okay. I mean, if they were like, hey, do you think, I mean, like, basically anything, if someone asked me if I was in favor of something that gave me more money, I'd probably say yes.
Ben, are you in favor of all Polish men getting bigger dicks?
That's kind of a weird question.
I just need to know.
Not necessarily.
Okay, okay. So you're that half.
Well, I was just talking about money.
But you're Polish, right?
I mean... Partially. Aren't we all just... Aren't most Americans just a mixture of a lot of things?
Wouldn't half the people that would benefit from something be like, yeah, I would like those benefits? Like at least half, right?
That's a weird benefit. That's just kind of
having
like
a bigger dong?
I mean, it is kind of...
I was just trying to think of something other than money to add to this. Like,
but that would never happen. It's so
Of course it
unrealistic.
wouldn't. I forgot. You're very literal minded.
Yes.
I can't use these Billyisms to further the conversation.
Billyism.
From CNN and the Kaiser Family Foundation showed that the issue is largely unpopular with most Americans. More than 3.
Why the dick talk again, Billy?
I'll tell you
that
why.
was Spirit Flame.
I'll tell you why, Spirit Flame. I was trying to think of something.
That's a mod that's offended again by your dirty
She's not
mouth.
offended. She's
wow.
Look, everybody has made a game of my dick talk. I try and slide it in here and there for you people at home playing the home game. Okay,
people at home.
I just try and slide it into the people at home. Mom, I'm sorry. Ben made me do it.
This one's how tech companies are changing our cities. I have a feeling this one might hit close to home here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Amazon is reportedly abandoning another office project after butting heads with city leaders. The Seattle Times reports that Amazon is going to sublease the space that it rented. This 30-floor, 720,000 square foot building in downtown Seattle. Last year, the third largest company in the world.
Yeah, they've been building it.
froze construction on the project over a business tax.
Head tax.
That would have helped fund housing for homeless people. Well, the tax was ultimately passed and then repealed with the support of an Amazon-funded campaign. Earlier this month, Amazon canceled plans to build a regional headquarters in Queens, New York, after local activists rallied against the tax subsidy that the company was set to receive. And it remains to be seen exactly where those 25,000 jobs will be sent. Joining me now from Washington is Jim Kapsis, host of City Lab's new podcast about tech and cities. It's called Technopolis. And Jim joins us now. He's a climate negotiator in the Obama administration. He also serves as a tech startup. Whew, that was a mouthful. Thank you for joining us.
Rita, good to
Quite
be
a
with you.
resume
Thanks so much.
there, my friend.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. No, the podcast is called Technopolis.
Thank you for correcting me.
It's part of City Lab, which is part of Atlantic Media. It's their first podcast. We're very excited to be launching it this week. You can find it in the Apple Store, trending #3 under tech.
I was just going to say congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And congratulations. You know, cities, at least in the way we think of them today, are based on technology, right? How has the way technology grown and developed impacted the way our cities have changed around the country?
I just think right now, and this is what we talk about on the podcast, technology and cities are just clashing in many ways. Certainly tech has a huge potential to improve city life, but if you look at the last 10 years, really since the advent of the iPhone and sort of the app explosion that we've seen, companies, whether it's Uber, Airbnb, all the new scooters we see all over the streets of many cities today, cities have to grapple with all of these new companies, all these new innovations, let alone the story that you're just covering about the big tech, right? Amazon and trying to move into cities and sort of what their end game is in terms of where they're going to put their people and economic development, related issues.
The Walmart big box stores, they put the mom and pop stores out of business. So I'm not mad at internet putting those fucking places out of business. We have Uber putting taxis out of business. Taxis fucking suck. All right.
Yeah,
every time I've ever rode a taxi, they try to scam me.
They're antiquated as fuck.
Yeah. We need to evolve into a world where technology becomes antiquated and we have more technology that puts Uber out of business and it puts everything else out of business. We need to grow with the technology. We can't be holding on to these old ideals just because they create, I don't know, jobs, right? Like we need to start taking care of our people, whether or not they are employed, in my opinion. I feel like a universal income is possible, especially with automation coming through and the money pouring in. But that's not the argument here. The argument here is that cities adapting to technology, like they should be. Well, like I don't. If Amazon doesn't want to build their old business or they're building here because it's not apropos to their business, then fuck. What are we gonna do? In Seattle, we bend over to Amazon all the fucking time.
Yeah.
They've brought a huge level of business and assholes into this city. It's changed the landscape of the city. But before Amazon was here, it was one of those situations where we were called the gateway to Alaska. There's billboards where the last person on their way out of Seattle turned the lights off. Things like that. It was a city going down. And with Microsoft and Amazon and everything else going on
Boeing, Starbucks.
Boeing was the first boom, right? Boeing was Jet City. That's what boomed us. Starbucks, is another thing altogether. But before the Starbucks, Amazon, and everything blew up, Boeing couldn't carry us on their own, and that's why we were falling apart.
Right. I have a little bit of an opposite situation where I'm at. All of the big companies have been pulling out over time and moving on to different, like, cheaper places in the heartland. Like Symantec pulled out recently. A couple years ago, Country Coach, which is a big employer around here, which they make those big luxury motorhomes. Hynix Semiconductors, big, we had a lot of people put a lot of money into that, and that just disappeared. But on a lighter note, have you guys ridden around on those scooters he was talking about? Those things are fucking dope.
I haven't.
I was in San Jose, and you just walk up to these scooters, and you put your credit card in, and now you've got a scooter to fucking fuck around with all over town.
I like that, but I think I'm still too fat for that type of stuff.
Yeah, I've ridden the. They don't have the scooter thing here yet, but they have bikes. They're like battery powered bikes, so you can go pretty fast and shit.
Oh, speaking of Amazon in Seattle, have you guys gone to the store where you don't have to bring your credit card or whatever?
No, but there. I've seen it where you can literally just like go in and like pay for your shit and walk out.
Yeah,
or like it charges your account as you walk out. You don't you don't have to actually exchange money or pull out a card or anything like that.
Amazon has a banana stand as well. Like they just give away bananas outside of Amazon headquarters just to anybody. Like they give them to the employees and everything, but they're just like, have a fucking banana.
So, Jim, you say that over $75 billion has been invested in urban technology
just in the last 2 years.
That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, that's more than pharma. It's more than big tech combined. Why is urban technology specifically getting all this funding?
Because it's new. Pharma's not new.
I think it's big money. I think maybe 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Silicon Valley didn't realize the opportunity. They saw cities as really hard to work in.
With pharma, you know, new diseases aren't popping up like wildfire. The pharma has been mined. Like they know exactly what they can evaluate and pick up for cheap and sell off for big money. Like that's all. It's very finite, the amount of room there is for growth in pharma. Tech is open. They can invest a billion in one company, and it could flop. You could invest $1 billion, and it could be a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Like this is new. Over the past 3 years, we're gonna see more than pharma. There's not room for pharma to grow unless all of a sudden tech makes new diseases. If we have all these like tumors growing on us because of the tech boom, then the pharma boom might blow up. We don't know, but it's just not open for that market. Like same thing with Wall Street. People left Wall Street when they realized how much there was to make in pharmaceuticals, but that's been mined and that's gone, and now they're going to tech because tech is the opportunity for the future, the bullshit factor.
Right, and tech creates new opportunities for tech to expand. Pharma would have to start creating expansion, which is not anything that we want at all.
Yeah, we hope, right?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, guess what? Check out this news story.
Well, if you have grade schoolers in the house, they'll probably be interested in this next report. Now, if you don't, you can learn about a craze that's been sweeping the nation. NBC 12 reporter Jim Babb marched into the marketing breach today to bring us this story of Pokemon.
I'll trade you this holographic for a Japanese holographic.
You've got hundreds of these cards.
I got, some. Yeah, and I've got a lot more at home.
So tell me, why do you like Pokemon?
I don't know.
You're not sure why you like it, but you do, right?
Yeah.
Gotta catch my Like so many other fads, it got started with a kids' TV show. And now Pokemon is a marketing phenomenon. Kids and parents line up every Saturday at this Chesterfield County bookstore, and they dig deep. How much did all this cost?
Store's limit $30 with a discount.
Then the games begin with Byzantine rules. How do you play the game?
I'm sorry for not clarifying. The majority of the CIA on-ground operations are not performed by agents, they are military recruits. I was a part of this. I don't speak lightly about our government's failings to you guys. I was there 2004 to 2014.
Can't explain it, it's too long.
I'll put out my Dragonair.
Who's that?
What?
Even though it has
Is that me?
No, it's your buddy. It's your buddy.
Is that Sonic Shoe?
Too long. I'll put out my Dragonair, even though it has 60 damage on it. Oh boy.
Come at me, bro.
On it. Slam attack.
So now just to clarify, I conceded that there may have been times that the CIA had brought drugs into the United States. My specific contention was with the 1980s and the crack epidemic that developed during that time. There were investigations done and it was never proven. So if you believe it, you believe a conspiracy theory. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean it's not true.
Because we have to prove...
it doesn't mean it's not true. It's still a conspiracy theory.
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, Ben.
If you had the time to tell me, I wouldn't understand it.
No. I'm watching, and I still have no clue.
And think about this. This kind of thing is happening in bookstores and toy
just
stores
amazing
all around the
how much Chris Chan has been on the freaking news.
He just ends up on the news so many times. For, like, not even intentionally.
Yeah.
The one where
he's a much younger child?
No. Well, the do not hate. That one was intentional because Chris was involved in like a protest of some sort. The other ones were just like the one he won a contest when he was a really young kid.
Yeah.
And then there's this.
Is this the game place here?
I think it is.
before. Know it now. Pokemon is big.
The biggest trend in kids' toy history, it's multi-billion dollars.
Money, big time money.
You wish you'd invested.
Yeah, that's true.
Jolteon.
Jolteon.
Yeah.
What's special about Jolteon?
He's the worst Eevee evolution. He's
Chesterfield
holographic,
County,
bitch.
I'm Jim Babb, NBC 12.
And those little...
Yeah.
Jolteon! Oh, you got the worst Eevee evolution. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we got one more news story. Here we go. Oh, shit.
Huh. Bring extra panties? What the fuck is this? Soup hotels and you? What the fuck? What a what the fuck? This is nuts.
Chandler, reporting live once again. I have an important announcement today. Due to the recent growth in sales, I'm no longer able to fully sustain fulfilling such orders on my own, but I am still very dedicated on fulfilling everybody that's gotten in so far. I still have yet to fulfill. And as for books, yeah, I've just been having difficulty getting them in.
Quickville Mayor's office.
Yeah.
Whoever did this did a really good job.
Yeah, I like the intro and everything. They made it look really retro. Like they put a ticker on the bottom there.
Yeah.
It says jerk. There's cock. Autism.
The
oh
tism
my
ticker.
god. Pickle, because you know Chris Chan hates pickles. Kiwi, tits, yif. This is great.
Since I am truly woman
very
at
well
heart,
done.
Society of America should be recognized as an 8A woman-owned small business. Let's talk about benefits.
Let's talk about benefits.
Hired employees will receive 25% profits on all sales, exclusive access to me, Christine Weston Chandler, and talks with collaboration and on how to make the figures, among which, and so forth. Access to private
How to
company
make the figures among which.
Look at that fucking mess of toys back there.
Yeah. This is the person that doesn't have any money, but they seem to be continuously accumulating new toys.
Was this before the fire? Do you know?
Yeah. No. This is after. This is after.
Was the fire pre-Christine?
I believe so,
Okay.
or like right at the beginning of it. Oh, and by the way, dude, I didn't even realize this until earlier, but 4 days ago was actually Chris Chan's birthday.
So?
And we did the special like 3 days later. It's just weird. It was
Isn't that
totally
weird?
unintentional.
Yeah.
And Chris Chan's turned 37, my age.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
He looks like a thin Benjamin Franklin. She looks like a thin Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah,
spec.
whatever.
Don't assume somebody's gender.
Oh my
spec.
god. All right, so I'm going to read some of the Streamlabs here. All right. Taffy Williams. I do. Happy Saint Day. I don't know how to read some of this stuff here. Is this in, this looks like it's in, Welsh.
Ben, you are right to be skeptical and I wasn't there. This is why I respect you, but I'm telling you that in 2006 I provided security on behalf of the U.S. government bringing cocaine into the country, and I was personally guaranteed it would go to blacks.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm just gonna take that information in as completely speculative, but holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true, that's crazy
Holy shit.
Cool. Man, those blacks really lucked out, didn't they?
They didn't get it for free. Damn it. Reparations would be if they got free cocaine, uncrackified.
This, so I guess maybe in Wales it's St. David's Day. It says the OG saint better than St. Patty's Day. Are you competing, really?
You're not competing? Why have saints if they can't compete?
They don't. That's not what they're there for. But yeah, that is kind of weird. I didn't know the Welsh had a competition with the Irish on who had the better day to get drunk, and that was named after a saint. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm Baton said this was the $50 one that didn't show. I want single payer universal health care, universal basic income, and a complete reform to our justice system. I also want no military intervention in other countries, but I'm willing... Man, I gotta zoom in on this. But I'm willing to kill babies in order to scientifically sort out my Joe differences.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Let's see. That big dude, $5. Billy accepting friends on Pokemon Go. I think you already addressed that. Ardrich, $5. Scrounge some money together to give. Also, don't worry, Billy. The drinking game only counts it when you go gay.
Okay, so I can talk about dicks all I want, and you won't get it. It won't trigger the drinking game unless they're gay talk of dicks.
Oh. How do they know?
Well, I think there's a
implication
of just talking about dicks, and then an implication of using the dicks for sexual gratification.
I mean, can we? Could we take the frequency in which dicks are mentioned into account when we're considering whether or not it's gay or not?
There are charts and tables in the guidebook.
Yeah. In the Kinsey scale. Comrade Adam, $2. Have $2, you cucks. Believing anything MSM says about North Korea is both retarded and showing your cuckiness. The DPRK has a literal parliament called the Supreme People's Assembly that anyone over 17 can vote in. Kim is more symbol than power. Okay. Good one, buddy. I don't think anyone really agrees with that.
I mean, I don't know enough.
And usually when someone calls me a cuck, like right away, I'm pretty much sure that I don't need to listen to what they say. Wow. Unfortunately. Anyone who uses a meme insult is obviously more of a follower than a leader, because you can't come up with your own creative things to say. You just have to repeat what you hear other people say.
Look at you trying to rationalize this gentleman with fine knowledge. You're trying to take away his rightful ability to speak.
You're in good company, man. You're being defended by Billy the Fridge, defender of Onision, Martin Shkreli.
All good dudes.
Vinny, $5. Super chat. Billy should be modern day Liquid Chris Chan. Ha! Just pulling your leg.
I think we talked about that last night a bit. I was like, should I just start trolling Chris Chan?
I wish Liquid Chris would come back. That would be hilarious. Before we get into crazy people, I'm gonna run to the loo really quick.
All right. Oh, Skep Talk, this is the part of the show where you and I have deep conversations.
Excellent.
What would you say is the number one thing in your life right now that gives you happiness?
I mean, it's going to sound really self-promoting if you're all good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, I've been doing a history-based podcast on Thursdays, and I'm fucking loving it. Like, you know, it just gives me an excuse to dig way too deep into some really nerdy shit in history. So,
what's the most recent episode that comes to mind that you could share with us?
We did Benjamin Franklin, like the life of Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-part series. We're only at part 1, and like Ben Franklin is my fucking spirit animal.
Do you think Christine Chandler here looks a bit like Ben Franklin?
Yes. Okay. Older Ben Franklin, correct.
Okay.
Ben Franklin was a fucking stud while he was growing up.
What's something you can give us about Ben Franklin right now to whet our whistles, our appetites?
He trolled someone so hard he accidentally created the Jersey Devil.
Was that a print thing? Like,
yeah, in his Poor Richard's Almanac, he went up against another almanac at the time, and in order to fuck with that guy, because Ben Franklin didn't really believe in fucking astrology, and the other guy was an astrologer who made an almanac, he predicted the death of this other guy, and then refused to take it back even after the guy didn't die for like 10 years. Just every year publishing how someone was pretending to be his dear departed friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Then when the guy did die, instead of like taking it back or anything like that, he just doubled down again and was like, finally, the guys who are pretending to be my dead friend.
These are the same people that gave black service members during World War II STDs. I wasn't being edgy with my last Streamlabs. I was told that by a general while I was in the army.
Yeah. I'm not doubting you at all on Baton. I'm just like, you know, like I agree with the I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't know anything other than what you're saying, but that's along my line of thinking with things, you know. This is you basically just supporting my thoughts on this. This is really, some people call it a conspiracy theory or whatever, but I don't know. I look at the way that the world works sometimes, and some things just make sense. And I don't doubt that for a second. I just said I'm going to just take it for it's not fact, because, you know, you can't really back it up without proof, and when it's hearsay or whatever, or someone's opinion on something, you kind of have to just take it for what it is. But yeah, I don't think you're bullshitting at all. Back to,
I don't know enough about the situation to argue it. So yeah. I mean,
what do you think about Ben Franklin? You know that Hamilton Broadway play that came out, and it was like a big popular thing. You think a Ben Franklin Broadway play would be superior?
Well, the people who go and watch Broadway plays usually would not like the life of Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah,
he is, if like in modern SJW culture, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
he
Hamilton was like the SJW version of like history, right? Like they made everybody inclusive, all the hip hop beat. It was like it was a very modernized urban telling of Hamilton. Would we have to have like a MAGA version of Ben Franklin? Like
well, I mean, he definitely went for you know, anybody that he called them mercenary women in his younger life. Like, he said that he had a quote about his libido being so high that he would fall prey to the mercenary women before him, and he ended up having a kid out of wedlock. In that time, that was serious, you know, illegitimate children, etc., etc. Yeah, but then eventually he decided to get together with a woman that he was courting for a long time, even though she was already married, and so they just found a way around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any validity to people claiming that Ben Franklin had a huge peenie?
I mean, it would be logical. He never really had. He bedded a ton of women while he was working for the United States in France as an ambassador, before France had thrown in their lot with the United States before they became independent.
Did he have like syphilis or something?
No, which is actually part of the big. He, like, in his biography, he wrote about how he was super excited that with as many women as he was with, he never came down with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said by the I'm not this word, not exactly, but he said, like, it was by pure luck that he did not come down with one of the maladies.
Damn.
There were people asking what the name of the podcast was, and it's Mass Hysteria. You can find it on my Twitch channel. Yeah.
Do you think that if Hamilton took over Broadway, that a Benjamin Franklin like retelling now would have to like show up somewhere in like pro wrestling?
It would make a fantastic Netflix series.
Yeah. Should we sit down with your historian abilities, right? With all me and you will sit down. I'll use my white trash abilities, and we'll write out like a 12 episode wrestling show that's all based in like Benjamin Franklin, as like, instead of going into politics or whatever, he went into wrestling, right? And he
Yeah.
all the guys of politics are into wrestling, and it's filmed in like a wrestling ring from the 1800s or 1700s, and it plays out, as a weekly wrestling, episodic wrestling show that all runs off of their characteristics, as we know history wise. We'll sell it to Netflix, make a lot of money.
Right, just replace the word printing with wrestling, and that would be the entire thing. And then he can get into politics as a wrestler, and it'll be great.
If it's all him creating the Jersey Devil is him creating a masked wrestler that comes out to attack his opponent, I think we could do a lot of damage here. We can make a lot of headway and take over the white trash market. I think we have options.
Time for crazy people. I think ICP have the white trash market cornered in everything.
This is educational white trash. We're gonna get grants for this shit.
ICP's educational. They ask important questions like how magnets work.
But they deny questions like the cream team.
Hey, I don't know the cream team, okay? ICP's got nothing to do with the cream team.
Oh shit!
Oh damn, my ICP is almost like my Alex Jones.
I was just saying
a little higher.
I was just gonna say, how great would a
Alex
panel
Jones down here?
How great would a panel hosted by Bill Maher be with Insane Clown Posse, Alex Jones, and I don't know, Bernie Sanders? That'd be the fucking greatest episode ever.
I just saw someone in the chat say tamales are delicious. Fuck yeah, they are.
I wish I could.
Was someone talking about tamales earlier?
No.
I've made my own from scratch. One of my favorite foods. I have some frozen ones upstairs in the freezer too.
Yeah, I can't eat them, but I miss them. I see them all the time, and I'm like remembering when I would eat tamales every freaking day.
Please like the stream. Please continue to use the Brave browser. When I see my tokens come in, I'm going to let everyone know because everyone else should have them too. Chimichanga's greater than tamales. Why do we have to be tribalistic about which Mexican food we like? Are we allowed to like both? Like, I could be in the mood for chimichangas one day and tamales another day?
As a fat guy, I would eat both at the same time. But I can't do that anymore.
I remember when I first got my PlayStation, and I would do a stream playing PlayStation, and I'd get Xbox retards being like, why do you have a PlayStation? And then I'd play another stream on my PlayStation, and I'd get shit from the PlayStation retards. They give me shit for having a PlayStation. And then the whole time I get shit from PC gamers. It's like, can't we like all of them? Is it possible to like them all?
People make fun of me. People make fun of me because of the way I look.
Well, that's not what we're even talking about. You can't change that. Well, you can, but
people are mean, Ben. They're very mean.
No, it's not mean. Like, I don't consider that mean. Making fun of someone for the way they look, that's, well, depending on what they say.
I do it all the time to people.
Well, depending on what they say, it could be mean-spirited, it could not be. But, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about people that are offended that people like things that they don't like. And I'm not talking about they're like, oh, that's dumb, I don't like that. Like, the people who are, like, offended that you like something they don't like.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's human nature, right?
It's not, though. I'm not offended when someone likes something I don't like. I might say, why do you like that? I think that's dumb. But I'm not like, I'm not going to like spurg the fuck out.
Unless it's John Cena.
I mean, some of that's, honestly, some of that's embellished, you know. I've seen John Cena wrestle live a few times, so
I think that a lot of it comes down to the way that brands are promoted, you know, like I think PS4 and Xbox, they want to create lifelong like buyers of their products, so they create that rivalry. We had the same thing with PC and Apple.
I don't think it's the company's I mean, like, to a degree, right. But could you imagine if you were drinking a Pepsi and someone was like, why the fuck you drinking Pepsi, man? Coke is so much better. Like that. Like they literally had a problem with you drinking the other type of cola that they don't prefer. That's so dumb. Like, at worst, in my brain, I'd be like, oh, damn, that idiot's drinking Pepsi. Pepsi's nasty compared to Coke.
There are people who are like that. Like with pizza,
we have to belong to these fucking clubs where we like our thing and you can't like another thing.
People who are into like New York pizza are that way, you know. New York pizza is the
New
real
York
pizza.
Chicago thing.
Yeah,
but those are like that's like a regional thing. You know what I mean?
But it's still the same breakdown.
Kind of. Like, I don't believe PlayStation and Xbox are regional.
Yeah, but it's the same idea. It's the same separating idea. If you spent $300 on your Xbox,
someone just said fanboys are the new religious people. Absolutely.
Too bad we still have the old religious people. I'd settle if it was just fucking fanboys.
We are blowing the whistle on what the mobile phone industry is doing. I'm telling you, they're setting up the mark of the beast system, and you need to be alarmed. You need to tell your phone company that you are going to resist it unto death. You have to resist it unto death. You have to do this. There is no choice in this. There is no gray area. This isn't like, well, if I don't feel, no. This is like,
by the way, anime sucks and I'm offended if you like it.
Life or death. You have to resist it. Anybody who receives the mark of the beast shall be cast into the lake of fire. You need to contact your phone company and say, I know what you're up to. I know where you're taking us. And I am going to resist with all my might. I will not go there.
Has he explained what it is that they're talking against yet?
No, he's building it up.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Think you're going to drag me into that type of world?
The motherfucker in the middle is the textbook hipster.
It's
I mean, wow.
The tall Gavin McGinnis.
I mean, he's got the like swoopy hair thing going on. He's got the fucking glasses. He has the long beard. I don't fucking know.
Just describing me over here.
I could grow a beard. I could grow a beard.
That we're going to have a cashless system. That you're going to microchip us. That you're going to transfer payments through our phone by the contact of a microchip in my skin.
So fucking flustered.
Do you hear what he's saying? Microchip in the skin. Why would they need to put a microchip in the skin? We voluntarily carry fucking tracking devices around with us. Not only are they tracking devices, but they also transmit our usage information to various sources too.
Yeah.
What does it matter? We're literally we're voluntarily doing this already. Seriously, we don't need anything under our skin. We're holding it in our pockets. Some people literally fall asleep with it in their hand at night and wake up and then start using it the first second they wake up. I think I know someone.
It's me. I do that all the time.
I bet you probably fall asleep with it literally in your hand.
Sometimes,
at night.
yeah.
Yep. I can't say I've never done that, but it's not like a super regular thing.
I try and put it on the charger, but you know, sometimes I got to double check there's no Pokemons around.
That's how I know.
Like today,
because if you're not talking to someone, you're at the very least playing Pokemon.
I went to the pharmacy today to pick up some meds, cracked open my Pokemon while I was waiting in line.
Yeah.
Snorlax right there. Fucking Snorlax right fucking there. That's
if you won't stop playing Pokemon long enough while you're driving, there's no way you're going to stop it when you're about to fall asleep. So
well, there's not always that.
That's
great
why if you and me
around.
go on a road trip, I'm driving, and I know that's how your lazy ass tricks me into doing most of the driving. But I don't want to die, so whatever.
You don't want to die? Why not?
All you gotta
I'll
do is
tell
just
you
learn
where
how
you
to
can
play some
put your
Pokemon, and you can play for him on the way.
Yeah.
Your microchip. And you need to be real blunt with the phone companies. Folks, this is no laughing matter. I believe.
Could you imagine calling the phone company and be like, I don't want one of those tracking microchips going under my skin? We should call a cell phone call center right now and say that.
Yeah, I'm watching True News right now, and the pastor Fucklesby told me to tell you no microchips under my skin.
Let's do that during the post show. We will straight up.
You think it'll even be open that late?
They're open 24 hours.
Pastor Fucklesby
from True News.
There's always someone available to answer a call for one of the major cell phone companies.
I don't want any microchips under my skin.
That Lucifer.
Do you think they have protocols for that kind of situation already?
Well, here's the thing with people doing those kind of jobs. They're not allowed to hang up on you. They actually need permission to do it. Unless you're like threatening to murder somebody or something like that.
Which we won't be doing.
Of course not. We're just going to act like we're crazy. You know, so unless it's something really, really bad, they're not allowed to just hang up on you. So they have to try to like de-escalate you. And if they can't de-escalate you, they either have to get permission from their supervisor to hang up on you, or they have to put you on the phone with their supervisor eventually, which should be the goal of the call, honestly. And I've made enough. I've taken enough prank calls while working at a call center to really know what's up. So I've had some good ones that had me going for a while, but they have you at a disadvantage. They have you at a disadvantage because you can't shoot back at them. Because if they are a real customer, or if someone happens to monitor that call, you're gonna get in trouble. So you have to like be really polite and go along and humor their stupidity. And then at the end, when it's like the other shoe drops and you're like, oh shit, I got fucking trolled for 20 minutes on the phone, you know? And then there were pervs that would keep calling back until they got a female employee that answered it, and then they would like try to get them to keep talking while they were like jerking it while talking to them.
Wow. Another Streamlabs that didn't TTS. WTF.
Damn it.
I don't know. I'll look at it. I mean, it'll get read no matter what. I'm not sure what was in it.
I wonder what's up with that. Yeah, because some of them come through no problem. That's
is
weird.
Preparing to re-enter the world stage again. That once again, he will dominate this world. He is the God of this world. He is the one that this world is looking to. And we saw today, we heard people talking about their desire to see blood. We saw them.
Why is this grumpy faced dude even here? What is he doing?
Yeah. They need the guy on the left to look like he smells a really nasty fart.
Yeah.
The guy in the middle to look like he belongs in some kind of like hipster fashion catalog, and also to hold the mic, the other mic. And then the other guy to be a fucking retard blowhole.
Gary Sandusky over here.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Jerry Sandusky.
The people that were there, they're godless, they're Luciferian, they're devil worshippers.
Worshippers?
And they are waiting for this Luciferian, demonic, satanic empire to rise up.
Jim the Advil fucking...
And they're going to make war against the saints. They're going to make war against the one holy
when
Catholic.
Brett does the fucking talking.
The guy on the far left looks like someone like took a shit on his upper lip.
Yeah. He's got that bitter fucking bitch face.
Wow. He should sit next to that lady who looked like she was going to cry earlier.
Yeah. They should get married and make a baby that is
She had like
completely
a
unpleasant.
literal upside down smile, like a frown I would draw on like a stick figure smile, you know. Yeah, her mouth was like curved down like this.
Like an apostolic church of God, they're coming after every believer. And your phone company is involved in this.
They're coming after every believer, the secret satanic phone company.
And your phone company is involved in this. Okay.
So yeah, that should be the narrative. You should call. Well, like I'll do the call, and you can talk to them, and you can make it as if you're worried about this. Like you saw this report. What's this guy's name?
True News. Yeah, we gotta find the guy's name. Yeah, I was watching True News today.
Rick Wiles.
Yeah, Rick Wiles on True News was saying that every cell phone has the mark of the beast.
Yeah, yeah. It says.
Can you remove me from the mark of the
Rick
beast?
Wiles
program?
says your phone company is creating the mark of the beast system.
Yeah.
I was watching my favorite news guy.
Rick Wiles.
Yeah.
From
maybe you've heard of it.
From True News.
Dude, this is gonna be great. Yeah, you guys got to check out the post show to see our prank call that we're gonna do later during the post show.
Do you have the mark of the beast technology?
They're gonna have, because you can say, you know, I'm a very devout Christian.
I'm a very devout Christian.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you say words wrong on purpose too, like you normally do. Oh my God, that's gold. See, it's so much funner.
It's so much funner. Because I know you got the 5G coming out. Is 6G going to be next? I'm very worried.
They're gonna have to like humor you too, because you're talking about religious shit, and they don't want to offend you.
If I go to church on Sunday,
oh my God,
do I have to leave my phone outside? Is there mark of the beast technology
inside the church?
Yeah. It's
Oh
mark
my
of the
God.
beast technology. I would like it removed from my phone. Can I opt out of the mark of the beast technology, please?
How many people in the
Then
chat?
afterwards, call back as an edgy goth and ask if you can opt in.
Oh my God! I heard you guys have mark of the beast technology.
Mark of the beast.
I would like to add it to my plan. Can I
Don't tell my
hotspot?
parents.
Can I tether that mark of the beast tech to my mom's phone? She's being a major cunt.
Oh, Bill Hicks just had a great dude. You should try to get them to pray with you over the phone. That'll probably be like the part where they really try to get you off the phone at that point.
If
you got to just keep pushing it further and further.
I don't know if I believe you when you say you don't have the technology. Can we just do a quick prayer together? Can we pray?
I cannot wait for this.
Can we pray the tech away?
You know, I've had like religious people come to my door and try to get me to pray with them before. So yeah, dude, that's the point where I'm like, get the fuck away from me, weirdo. Oh my God.
Would you just take a moment to pray with me? That's the moment you tell them to get away?
I mean, usually I'm like, yeah, sorry, not interested. And they just keep talking. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Nope. Have a good day. I mean, now it doesn't even get that far.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally like look through the window and see them and be like, no, thanks.
No.
And that's it. And then I walk away. So
I stripped down completely naked and asked them to put suntan lotion on my buttocks.
On my buttocks.
One of my roommates used to invite the Mormons in, and then he would talk to them for long enough to start saying, well, I wish we could talk more, but I've got all this work to do. And he would convince them to do work for him. So they would like do the dishes. And,
yeah.
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 So that they could talk some more.
I was playing Pokemon Go outside of a Mormon church like 6 months ago, and they showed up as I was beating the gym and knocked on my fucking door and was trying to like get me to join the church and stuff. They got my phone number.
That's crazy.
I was like, yeah, I'll give you my phone number. I was like, you want me to come to your church? Let's find out how well that works. Then I came in here like moments after with the pamphlet. I was like, Ben, I got.
You know, I've walked past that Mormon church multiple times, and no one's ever tried to convert me because I do not look like a sweet boy
I must look like a sweet boy.
I do not look like a sweet boy at all. They were like, "Oh, that's a sweet boy. He likes to play the Pokemans.
Maybe
he'll
we could convert him."
definitely want his own planet after he dies, where he has endless celestial sex."
I do want that.
Which is, by the way, part of Mormonism.
Yeah, I would take that. My own planet with celestial sex. Can we make that happen? Can Celestial Vega be on my celestial planet?
I don't know. Ask her. Actually, yeah, you could. You could, actually. I mean, that's part of it. Like, you get your own planet where, like, you rule over your own planet.
And you just get to, like, have slaves?
I mean, if we're like, if God was real now,
yeah.
If we're slaves to God, then yes. If that's how you define slave.
Yeah.
If God was real as we understand the biblical God, would we be his slaves?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes.
But like that's assuming there's no free will on my planet. God gave everybody free will, right?
It would be. Well, they say he gives you free will, but they also say he basically predetermines your destiny. So it's a contradiction.
True.
So whatever. But yeah, you basically become God of your own planet. The way you understand God on this planet, you become a God of your own planet like that. Yeah.
You get to be the one to give babies cancer.
There's some racist stuff in Mormonism too.
Yeah, you couldn't even be black and be Mormon until like the late 70s.
You know the background for that?
They're all demons, right?
Well,
that's what they say.
There was a war. Okay, Jesus and Lucifer were brothers.
Yeah,
and they had a war over who got to be the savior.
To read my Streamlabs when you feel like it, I'd send $1. I send $20 plus to interrupt you. So don't tell me you'll get to it later. I can get to you later on Patreon if that's how you feel. Just kidding. Your show.
Sir, yes, sir.
No, I think we were in the middle of the video segment, so it would have been really awkward to stop and go over and do it, but I feel you there.
Yeah, I'll read it. But anyway, so there was a war between Jesus and Lucifer over who would become the savior of the planet Earth. And the people who sided with Lucifer were cursed with black skin, and the people who remained neutral were became red, like the Native Americans.
Yeah, but like
and there's
also
white Native Americans in the Book of Mormon too.
Really?
Yeah, and the Nephites.
Which is the religion that has the Caucasoid Mountains, where the white people are the devils?
Are you talking about Scientology?
No, I don't think this is not Scientology, is it?
Well,
maybe it's the Black Hebrew Israelites.
I don't know about
that.
Have
the Caucasoid?
I don't know where the Caucasoid Mountains are.
Where the white devil?
Oh, you mean like in Iran, like in that area over there?
I think so, yeah. All the white people were the demons.
I'm not familiar with that specifically, so I can't really speak on that.
I mean, all religion is fucking crazy bullshit that's derived from racism and worse, right?
Yeah, guys, it's not genetics that makes people black. It's a curse.
Shouldn't have sided with Satan. Actually, wait. Don't we kind of side with Satan by being an atheist-driven fucking talking point?
I mean, no.
Oh.
Believing in Satan would be a satanic talking point.
Yeah, which I think is...
Not being atheist. Atheists don't believe in Satan.
Yeah.
Right. It's just as not real as all the others.
Right.
Can we stop talking about Mueller and actually talk about things that matter?
Well, do you think that they're going to give us a refund after this Mueller investigation goes away?
Hey, y'all. I'm Julio Gonzalez. Sitting here next to Laura Loomer. We'll talk a little bit about the politics, y'all. So sit here and pay attention, okay?
Here in Miami, Florida. West Palm Beach, Florida, and Miami, Florida, live via satellite, looking like they're on the same panel.
And we paid so much for it. You think I'm going to get any money back?
Probably not.
Probably not. All this money going to waste, right?
Yeah, it's going to waste, and I feel terrible for people whose lives have been
He looks like a washed-up 1980s game show host.
What?
Like his haircut?
Destroyed, and people who are suffering financially because of it. I feel terrible for people like General Flynn, Roger Stone. You know, it's really sad what is happening to a lot of Trump's biggest supporters.
I like how he's looking at the camera and she's not. It's kind of weird.
And not even people just tied to the Mueller investigation. People like myself and Alex.
I noticed that people who
I'm
are
just being a cunt. You know I'm going to support
you. I know you're awesome, and I'll read it.
And I appreciate you spending $20 to be a cunt.
Yeah. Yeah. We're kind of like your whores.
We're your
in a
dancing
way.
whores.
We're like your little whores.
Yeah. Smack me in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, tell me how dirty I am.
Laura Luber and Julio Gonzalez live from. It's really unfortunate what happened to Roger Stone.
Yeah, but I noticed people who are pro-Trump always call him Mueller.
And then
CNN and people who are anti-Trump call him Mueller.
Mueller. Yeah. I've heard both spellings.
I heard Von Helton call him Mueller and just assumed that was the wrong way after he said it. I don't know.
Jones and
I noticed that, you know, certain names, depending on their cultural origin, may not necessarily be pronounced the way they read out in English.
Milo Yiannopoulos and Gavin McInnes and so many other people who are being deplatformed simply because we support President.
I mean, Milo Yiannopoulos was deplatformed by his own party. You know, people within his own party didn't like a gay speaking at their convention, so they went and dug up some dirt on him. That's what happened.
He was too fabulous.
Trump, and we inspired so many young people and red-pilled so many people to vote for President Trump, and they're destroying us financially too. They are.
Yeah, I talked to Roger Stone this week, and he said he's down to bologna sandwiches, and
yeah, he told me too. He told me too. It's really sad because
talked to Roger
Stone. He had a place in New York.
He's a sweet little boy.
He told me he wanted to make a bologna sandwich out of my my political.
I think he had to sell that too. I mean, why should General Flynn, somebody who served our country honorably, have to maybe downsize his?
I can't even listen to her anymore.
Why should General Flynn, somebody who served our country honorably, have to downsize from 4 houses to only 2?
His house and consider selling his home, right? Just because of this witch hunt. Why is Roger Stone, who's an American hero as far as I'm concerned,
He looks like he's trying to not shit.
He's very unpleasant. And it's like, why should these people have to sell their homes because of the political climate? That's a good question. But why are there so many people in this country that can't afford to buy homes too, right? Like, I'm not as sentimental towards the fucking rich sumbitch that has to sell his home because he's no longer can live the lifestyle that society supported him for. And it sucks, right? But you had it at one point. There's a lot of people that never fucking had it.
Size and have his home raided, right? I've never seen any of this stuff happen to Hillary Clinton or John Podesta or Huma Abedin. You know, in fact, her pedophile husband, Anthony Weiner, just got out of prison the other day.
He's matter of fact, you know, this man just got out of prison the other day.
He was in prison. Is this a talking point for how fair it is or unfair it is? The motherfucker's in prison. At least this guy's only thinking about selling his home, and Roger Stone's only eating bologna sandwiches right now.
Right.
Yeah. Weiner's a fucking weirdo, right? But we don't champion him as like. Well, what has Weiner done? Beyond like
show his wiener, show his wiener.
Yeah, right.
That is so fucking weird.
Roger Stone,
the guy named Wiener, got in trouble for showing his wiener. At first, he showed his wiener to someone who wasn't underage, so people just kind of laughed at him and was like, "Look what he did." But then it turned out he showed his wiener to someone who was underage, and that's what he went to prison for.
He's a fucking criminal, sexual criminal, right? And he went to prison for it.
He said, you know how we got caught too? He thought he was sending a Twitter DM and accidentally tweeted out a picture of his dick all hard in his underwear, and tons of people saw it. That was like where it like kind of blew the lid off of all of it. So motherfucker was just inept with social media, and that's how he got. That's how he got noticed that he was fucking sending dick pics.
We don't see his life being ruined,
even though he just got out of prison for being a fucking predator that we made sure to lock him up.
Okay, so Spec says he wasn't a pedo, she was a teenager. Yeah, I know. And you know what? I've clarified this so many times. And you know what the idiots that want to just use pedo for anyone who's underage say? They say only pedo defenders point that out. It's like, no, it's not defending it. We can't call a 30-year-old with a 17-year-old the same thing that we call a 30-year-old with a 4-year-old. Because it's not the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could give it classifications like we do with like you know, murder, like or pedo 1, Pedo in the first degree. There we go.
I mean, well, okay, so pedophilia isn't even a crime. It's the mental condition. It's the act of carrying out one's pedophilia, which would be, you know, child molestation or whatever the local law classifies it. Pedophilia itself is a mental condition. It's the attraction itself.
Right.
So
kitty diddling in the third degree.
There's plenty of people who have those attractions and urges that never act on them.
Yeah, good for them. Like, if that would be the worst fucking thing in the world to have those attractions and urges in your fucking mind.
Well, some of them have those in their mind and they end up becoming priests because they think God is going to keep them from acting on them. Then they find out they're left alone with children all the time.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Not just alone with children. These children have to confess their sins.
They call them father. They're supposed to look at him as a father figure.
And they go to confess their sins. So you got these little kids going through puberty saying all this sinful shit they're thinking. And you're supposed to be like, oh, I'm only here so I don't touch these kids. Oh, God. Boom. You're done. You fucking piece of shit. I don't know. I'm very conflicted. If you're a non-acting pedophile, I actually feel sorry for you. Because, damn, that's a fucking terrible condition.
Yeah.
But if you act on it, then I'm of the idea there shouldn't be second chances. You only get one fuck up, and if you fuck up, you're done. In my opinion,
it's along the lines of people who are actually like psychopaths, but you know, are medicated and don't kill people,
or sociopaths that just use their fucking abilities to become great YouTubers. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So.
But Laura Loomer, she's a special breed.
You know, when is their home? When is their home going to get raided?
Yeah, I heard he got out early.
Yeah. Well, hide your kids, hide your wives, you know?
Yeah.
You know, hide your kids, hide your wives. That memes.
Remember that? They're raping everybody out there.
Hardy got out early for sending a dick pic to a teenager.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have thrown the fucking book at him, right? I don't know. I wasn't there. But Roger Stone, if he's eating bologna sandwiches, if he's complaining about eating bologna sandwiches, I don't give a shit what the fuck he's eating. I'm sure he's eating a lot of filet mignon off the back of some people that he fucking screwed over along the way.
Right.
If this Trump organization falls down the way it does, the way it's looking, then every single one of these guys are lucky to eat a fucking bologna sandwich, in my opinion.
She looks so pleased with herself that she memed.
Yeah.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
We paid for all that as taxpayers, too.
Right, but like there's such an egregious double standard in this country. There are people who really do deserve to have their homes raided by the FBI at 6 o'clock in the morning and be prosecuted. And the people who don't deserve it, well, they're being tortured and they're being subjected to such abuse. And I don't really see anything being done about it.
There are people who do deserve it, like all the criminals that we call criminals because of their socioeconomic status, but not these fine, rich white folk. They don't deserve it. They're so special. Anybody can get it. I've fucking been raided at certain times. It wasn't 6 a.m., but I've been fucking had police at my door. It fucking sucks, but you know what? It happens. As long as you don't get fucking killed, then you go on. You move on in fucking life. If you're that close to a situation where it happens, damn it. If it was a complete accident where you got swatted by somebody on Twitch and they got the wrong house and they murdered you, that fucking sucks. But it happens. We live in a world where terrible fucking things happen. We don't argue whether or not they should happen to some people and not others. It fucking happened to Roger Stone. If he's innocent, he'll be back on his feet eating fucking bologna cheeseburgers where the fuck he wants to eat.
Someone in the chat said we want Hampton Brandon on DP.
Hampton Brandon.
Yeah.
That's
we hung out with him before.
Yeah, that's the hound.
He's a nice guy.
That's the hound.
Sat around, smoked some weed with that dude.
Smoked a weed.
He was really chill. He was wearing pajamas, just laying around.
Got him some Dick's cheeseburgers.
Doing his thing. Yeah, yeah,
the RV
yeah.
parked up. I went and did a Dick's run for everybody.
Yep, yep. We brought back some big ass dicks for everybody. Everyone
bag of
had
dicks.
some. Get Nick Ricada on. Yeah, he tweeted at me like a week ago. So maybe the door's open on that.
Have Adam 22 on DP.
Yeah.
You guys should buy 1,000 copies of my album so I chart, and then I'll just be on Adam's show, and then I'll ask him to come on afterwards. Just do that. Just do that. It's easy. Adam 22 is from the No Jumper podcast. He just did an interview last week with Insane Clown Pussy.
Oh shit! Look, haven't seen him in a while.
It's been a minute.
It's
Bill
been
Bites
like
news.
at least a month.
Hello everybody, Wild Bill for America here. It's been a while since I've done a Bill Bites News, so let's see what kind of nonsense is happening out there.
Wild Bill's making videos. There's one thing.
News for gun rights, I see. In Washington state, over half of the sheriffs in that state are refusing to enforce the new gun laws passed by the liberal left-wing legislature. In fact, one sheriff says not only will he not enforce the law, his department will stop other agencies from enforcing them.
Oh, wow.
That's bullshit. There's no way this is true.
How could he stop it?
Right.
There's no way cops are going to like battle each other for enforcing or not enforcing laws. And another thing, most cops don't want civilians armed to the teeth. They don't. They don't want to deal with that extra danger there. So a lot of cops I've known, obviously not all, a lot of cops I've known don't want every civilian to be as well armed as they could be. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, right now the law is that you have to have your gun like locked up or in a safe or something, right? Is that what they're saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is a major showdown. This is how it's going to go down, people. Stripping Americans of their First and Second Amendment rights is a top priority of the left. But the left don't realize that American lawmen take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. They do not swear an oath of loyalty to the king or queen of the Democrat Party. Now, this is why I am hardcore about telling Christians and American patriots to get busy building alliances with their sheriff's department. Things are going to go bad in this country, and when they do, we need the sheriffs standing with us.
Isn't this kind of what Alex Jones was fucking deplatformed for? Rabble-rousing, saying to like basically prepare for war?
Get them before they get us?
It was like preparing for war. He's saying, get with your sheriffs, there's going to be a war. He's fear-mongering here. Yeah. I thought this was a lot for why Alex Jones was deplatformed.
I mean, Alex Jones is way more well-known than Wild Bill.
Cory Booker, also known as Cory the Clown, is still referring to himself.
That's what he's known as? Really? Never heard that. Maybe that's what Trump called him.
As
sounds like a Trump style
Somebody
nickname.
better tell Booker the vegan that
I thought he was Booker the Clown.
Was a manly man, and that acting manly is a sure way to get yourself kicked out of the Democrat Party. Also, Spartacus led a slave revolt, and man, the Democrats hate it when their slaves revolt.
Oh God, I'm done. I'm sorry, Wild Bill. Fuck you. You suck. I'm moving on to the next thing.
You suck.
Before I do that, I'm gonna read this
You
stuff.
suck.
Let's see. Josh New Point O. $5. What if these nutjob Christian networks were all part of a CIA operation?
Wow. Are they going to start bringing crack into our country?
I'm baiting $20. The task force I was assigned to in 2007, we were told that it was okay to kill Americans because
I've offered some pretty interesting anecdotes and an amazing sum of money, yet you don't invite me on the show.
Let's have I'm baiting on.
Yeah, sure. We can have you on the show.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm up for that. I think we don't invite people on the show because we don't think about it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Anyway,
make that happen.
Back to what he wrote. It was okay to kill Americans because we were doing what was going to better our country and nullify obscene minorities.
Wow.
I mean, like, why can't this be made public if this is true? I mean, do you have evidence that... I mean, how can this slide, right?
I think we let shit slide all the time here. I mean, who if you say it publicly, who listens?
I'm listening.
You are, but what are you going to do about it? You want to put your entire livelihood and career on the line for somebody's.
I'm gonna live in a cave.
Antidotes, right? Like we all live in a like.
And the clockwork elves are gonna come.
It is a clockwork of our society that goes in a certain way, and when you fucking throw off the cogs of that machine, the machine gets grumpy and stops working. So they just keep powering forward. They don't listen to anybody that might be whistleblowing until somebody hears the whistleblower and wants to make a point, and then becomes a power play. And then the whistleblower gets a little bit of a signal boost.
I see. Fuck. Okay.
Has Wild Bill fallen on hard times? He's wearing a cheap-looking straw cowboy hat compared to the usual proper Stetson.
Yeah, there's no Hawaiian shirt here as well. I don't know. He's not wasting away in Margaritaville anymore.
He's had to sell off his more expensive properties.
Yeah.
Yo, safe, please! Let's go find this hater, put a bullet in this fucking head.
I'm the only critic with the good kind of fairy drama. That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
You hear that hard R?
Neighbor. I said neighbor.
All they heard was that roar at the end. Arr. Anyway, check this out.
Oh God, no! Please, no.
I thought this was a rap. I do have a rap from him in here somewhere, but this is him doing karate. Sorry, this isn't a cringe rap, but we might as well watch it.
Is this capoeira?
This is him, like, this is the guy threatening to kick people's asses.
Oh
he
my
looks like
God.
he's pregnant.
Dude, you might want to pause this. I feel the way he's kicking, his little fucking Peter might flop out. This isn't safe. This is not safe. Don't kick to the cam like that when you got open toe fucking shorts, my dude.
He has a skateboard on his table bed.
Is that a skateboard? That's a pillowcase, no?
Oh, is it? It looks
no,
like
it is a skateboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's usually propped up against his dresser. He must have moved it so he could practice his sweet capoeira moves.
Yeah, he's definitely moved some things.
Are those tearaway shorts, or did he just rip his
Dude,
shorts?
Is he pregnant?
He's probably got distended
Holy
gut from
shit.
poor eating. There's probably like a yeast infection in his belly that's causing it to be distended.
It's just so inproportionate.
All of these figures are over there now.
Yeah, we have your backdrop as a reference.
Interesting. What was it? Is he cleaning his room, actually?
I don't know I mean, his drum set isn't assembled at this point.
This is so weird. I hate this.
He's just got random buckets.
His gut is very disproportionate to the rest of him. It's, yeah, I don't know.
He has some sort of gastrointestinal inflammation.
All right, here we go.
I just like the sound.
Is this the dad that has the kid that they dropped the M-bomb?
I'm that nigga. You know I'm that nigga. You know I'm that nigga. You know I'm that nigga. Don't you know I be that motherfucking ill boy, motherfucking styling boy that you wanna be, boy.
RV he's in.
Can't be like me cause I be that nigga, yo. That
Yeah, he's on Ice Poseidon's RV.
All the time, but when I unload on your show because I feel safe, it's questioned.
I'm not questioning, dude. I think it's just the claims you're making are so big that it's hard for us to really grasp in a level other than just wow, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying, like, yeah, people need to know about that. If you're distributing drugs to make America better, to get rid of these damn coloreds.
Sounds like an opportunity to
Can't
write
say
a
it
book
like that.
to me.
No, honestly, yeah. I would love to have you want to talk more about this.
I'm saying it ironically.
Of course you are. Of course you are. I have to, you know, react as if it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm that boy. But definitely, I would be happy to talk more about this with you in a private stream or public, whatever we can make work.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like some kind of weird ethnic cleansing, and that's definitely, there's definitely something wrong with that.
How it be, get your ass disfigured, yup. Don't fuck around the wrong part of fucking town. Round here, don't you know how the fuck we lay it down? Hardcore every day, don't you know we don't stop every day round here. Said we rolling round the block on fucking 25s, nigga, yeah, we stay live. That's how the fuck it be, cause we be those nuts guys, yo. Nuts in the range, yo. Split your fucking brain, fuck that. Don't you know, yo, I'm doing it.
I wonder if he got his kid taken away.
Nigga. You know I'm that nigga. You
I hope he got his kid taken away.
Wow, that's terrible.
The kid's like 17 or 18, right?
Nigga.
Oh, I hate this so much.
You know I'm that nigga. You know
I mean, if the kid's 18, he's probably not going to get taken away since he's an adult.
I just hope that the mom stepped in and said, "Get away from your trash dad. Your garbage dad." Because he's garbage, and they're over here doing their little N-bomb raps, and it's like...
that nigga. You know I'm that. I beat it.
If I had drone technology that could take people out...
Wow.
If I had it, I would...
Wow.
I would not trust myself with it. I wouldn't. I was thinking today, I was driving, and like some person was like driving really slow on the freeway.
Oh, I hate that.
And but like it was an off ramp, and they stopped to like 20 or 30, where for no good reason. They were just like making a choice between a split, and it's like you don't know where you're going. You're just gonna stop and fuck around with the traffic behind you. And in that moment, if I would have had some sort of drone technology that could take someone out, I'd been like, get him,
man. The other day, I got stuck behind some retard that was probably going like 10 to 12 miles an hour under the speed limit. I'm behind them. They're like swerving back and forth in the lane, like hitting the, like going into the shoulder, almost veering into the other lane.
There must have been
like,
some good Pokemon there.
Like they're not, yeah, that something like that. and the whole time they're just like going so fucking slow. And then we get to an intersection and I'm going straight. And there's a straight lane and there's a left turn lane. And they get into the straight lane, but they turn on their left fucking turn signal. So I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? So then the light turns green and I need to go straight, but there's a motherfucker in front of me blocking me, waiting to make a left turn now. When I could have went if they just would have been in the right fucking lane. So yeah. Yeah. I wanted to manifest a fucking bazooka and blow their fucking car up.
In that moment, I was like, man, if I could spit bullets, I would just start spitting fucking bullets at this car.
Ohio drivers, we don't live in Ohio. What the fuck are you talking about?
Welcome to Daily Massachusetts. I think there's just terrible drivers all over the place.
These bitches love, see. You know I got these bitches all wanting to fuck me.
Damn.
1, 2, 3, 4 bitches at a time. Don't you know how it be? I stay on my grind.
Pay attention, Billy.
Don't you know how
you might learn something here.
Do what I gotta do daily. That's how it be, yo. Get up out my face, see. Motherfucking niggas round here be sweating me, saying, yo, sinner, you the best, you the elegy. Yo, don't bother me. Yo, stop following me. I don't give a fuck. Make me feel like you the cop, see. Don't need a
spend a lot of time in my mama's RV, cause she kicked me out the house cause I said the N-B-O-M-B, N-B-O-M-B.
Matt Jarbo in the chat, by the way.
Matt Jarbo dropping on the...
Matt Jarbo was in the chat.
Dropping the Jarbo? The Jar Bomb?
Just round here trying to sweat my style and trying to clock how I walk, how I talk, how I'm styled.
All right, I'm done with this guy.
This is gross. I hate this so much. Oh, is this a rebuttal? Can the Kermit guy?
Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Sucking ass dick. Sucking big green grass Kermit old dick. Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Never got pussy once in his whole life. Sucking up big old green ass cock. Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Making YouTube videos like a snitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Won't meet Kermit on the streets. He's a bitch.
Dude, you know how heartbroken I'd be right now if Kermit dropped the fucking M-bomb? I'm so happy right now, and that would deflate my entire fucking ego. Kermit, please don't do it, Kermit.
Don't ever make a diss track against Kermit.
I don't want to. I'm Team
that's
Kermit.
why this happened.
If he drops the bomb, I'll fucking make a diss track against Kermit. He better not drop the fucking bomb, but keep going, Kermit. It's fire.
You suck big old tadpole dick. Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Sucking on my dick while I'm playing on my banjo. Dereezy's a bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Faggot ass bitch. Dirty old bitch. Let Gonzo roll on your ass, bitch. Come down to Sesame Street and get wet up quick. Sucking on Kermit's green dick. Dereezy, you a bitch, bitch, bitch. Making your little YouTube videos, you a snitch ass bitch sucking.
Wow, Kermit has better flow than the other guy.
I love this so much. Best rap battle of fucking all of the 2010s.
Big green tadpole dick, you a bitch, bitch. You suck, you suck. Dereezy sucks big green cock. You lick my big green hairy butthole in my balls. Cause you suck.
Frogs have a hairy butthole? That's weird.
That's so the poop doesn't slide out while they're swimming?
Amphibians shouldn't have hair.
No, the hairy butthole, though, keeps the poop from falling out while they're swimming because, like, the hair makes it a clumper. I don't think that's true.
No,
I don't,
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know why he's got a hairy butthole.
You know, there are so many videos out there of people sharding in like swimming pools and hot tubs, and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah,
because the people can see the shit like coming towards them in the water, and everyone like scrambles to get the fuck out, and there's the one person standing there in their own shit, all embarrassed because shit just like came out of them in the water, and it's fucking so it's just liquid shit just like spreading. Oh man, it's gross, but it's hilarious at the same time.
Anyway. Yo, my dick, Dereezy, you a bitch, bitch, bitch. Dereezy, you a bitch, bitch, bitch. Ain't got no pussy never. I got the big pig. You suck my green dick, dick.
Yeah.
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 Dereezy's a bitch, bitch, bitch. Dereezy's a bitch. Bitch, bitch, his whole label's gay, gay, gay. Dereezy's a bitch, bitch, bitch.
Sound like he was trying not to laugh for a second there.
Dereezy's a bitch, sucking green dick, 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 dick. Dereezy's a bitch, Dereezy's a bitch, bitch, bitch.
Fucking love
bitch.
this.
Dereezy sucks dick, 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 dick.
It's getting a little played, but
Dereezy's a bitch.
That other guy's one was too. I think we watched this one for longer than we got into his.
The other guy was sweating and super into it.
Yep.
Puppets can't sweat, unfortunately.
Huh. We should ask Teddy if he sweats.
Of course I sweat. I also smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I lick Sarah Palin's butthole.
Yeah. Oh no.
All my street niggas, all my thug niggas, all my trap niggas. All my niggas who trap all day, nigga trap all.
Oh God, is Jared about to play with Billy?
All my niggas who stay in the streets, nigga 24/7. As a matter of fact, you don't work, you don't eat, you don't play, you don't shine.
He looks like Jim Brewer's like illegitimate son.
Mixed with Armored Skeptic.
Armored Skeptic is like I can't compare the two.
I'm talking about. Were you here when I put them side by side?
No.
Oh, dude, let me show you.
They're just different people, man.
No, let me show you. There are facial similarities. I'm not saying that Armored Skeptic takes care of himself. Like, he washes his hair.
I'm not talking segregation. I'm telling you, old white men in places of power and influence said racist things about paying me to secure drugs coming into our country. Fuck, I'm not an SJW. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I was there.
Who said that? I'm saying if that happened, then there's some serious issues. Sounds like some ethnic cleansing.
And that's why he's saying that he's totally against the fucking military.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
served it for fucking.
No one here called him
long
an
time.
SJW. I'm saying like that's fucking crazy, and that sort of shit. Government conspiracies to fucking ethnically cleanse neighborhoods is definitely something that shouldn't be happening.
And I just don't want DARPA to come and shut the podcast down. I'm scared. I'm fucking scared. But are we really gonna pull up Armored Skeptic and side by side here?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So let me see here. I gotta find like a similar angle. All right. So, damn it. We gotta. All right, here we go. I'm talking about just the facial features.
Like
Armored Skeptic, like grooms himself, but I'm talking like the nose, the shape of the face.
I don't see a reason to compare here.
A reason?
I just don't see, like, it's not close enough to even bring up comparison.
You really don't think so?
It's like white guys.
You don't think? Are you just afraid to compare them? You afraid you might piss off Greg?
I don't see that big of a comparison here. Like they have like kind of puffy faces, I guess. I don't know.
If I could draw this beard on Jared, you would see it more. If I put Skeptic's beard on Jared, then you'd think they were like brothers or something.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm a street nigga, dog. Everybody knows that. I hate to get smashed, bunny bond on deck. My dog have a good force. My dog got your bullfrog deck, cause you know it gon' jump. I'm a real street nigga, do you understand me? I'm a walking bank where breezy rubber band me. Real monkeys on my ass, Gucci frames on my face. Tony Tiger Kush, man, nigga smoke great.
Okay. This is him rapping along with a song.
Yeah.
It's not a cringe rap. It is a cringy person rapping along to a song. So I'm not cringing as much. When he drops the bomb with the song, I don't cringe as much because you're singing along with a fucking song. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's like worthy whenever I sing along with a song. I mute myself. I'm like when I sing along with some Tupac, I gotta drop just a little silent moment when the bomb drops. But I mean, it's still a fucking song. I'm not cringing. Unfortunately, I'm not cringing as much at this as I was at fucking that trailer trash RV dad calling himself that da da da. That was the worst.
What was he calling himself?
I love the fact that as he's going along, he forgets words and then just goes silent and then bobs his head. Yeah.
Do I think Jared is singing this only so he has an excuse to drop the M-bomb?
No, I don't think so. I think he just likes the song and is like going along with it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he only likes this song because he likes dropping the M-bomb while singing it. It makes him feel strong and tough. And that's a little cringy, but that's all purely speculation.
Halloween is 18 pop. The problem that I have is a car I'm gonna drive. I'm a real street nigga. I ain't never had shit. This chain around my neck costs 85 bricks. I'm a street nigga, dog. I'm a little bitch. I ain't talking to your baby unless she buying 10 bricks. Bought a 06 lamp with them butterfly dogs. That's a $250,000 gone just to pull hoes. I'm a street nigga, dog. I'm a street nigga, dog.
I don't know, like, I'm really indifferent on this one. I want to hate it more than I do. It just doesn't have the...
Guess what? The next cringe rap video I have for you is actually featuring the actor who performed the part of Liquid Chris.
Really?
But it's him and his brother. And I found another channel that his brother does that's like a music channel. So this is John and Chris Duckworth. That's their real names. So actually, Liquid Chris's real name was actually Chris.
Funny.
Yeah. So here it is.
What up, John?
Let's get it! Yo, so guess what just happened on Sunday night? I don't know, I'm just listening to be polite. Well,
that
the
was
Lakers
Liquid
are
Chris
the
right
champs
there.
of the NBA. Come on, Kobe carried them through every game.
Yeah, his voice does kind of sound like Chris Chan's voice naturally.
But as much as I hate Kobe, he's ridiculous. Well, at least Kobe B can't rap like us.
Are they twins?
Chris, you got it, and we're keeping
I don't know.
it fresh.
They might just be brothers that look a lot alike.
Fresh like my man John Cash. This is rapping and dancing and bouncing a ball. Contest, we the best. Cash, look, we do it all. Never fake, never late. Look at this yellow late. Cellophane, let it rain. Basketball, bring the pain. Now watch us dance and rap at the same time. No lame rhyme, game time. Hold up your game there.
It's doo-doo.
I'm no connoisseur, but I mean, it definitely, to me, looks like this is, you know, an homage to Lonely Island.
Yeah, this is like Lonely from Talent. Like they don't have any talent. They're all alone.
To them, pull out auto-tune. Now we addressing them.
Lazy Island, maybe?
Oh, some auto-tune.
I know it's crazy to think that Boston's gonna be a mini-series, but clearly they're still on the island and there is a nuclear bomb. Oh, dang.
This is, I believe this is post Liquid Chris saga too.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's piss poor production. It's not good. You can tell that there's like hints of talent here, but they're only hints. There's no actual like polished, finished product. I think it's cute that they're. Do they own Tesh.com?
I don't think so.
I was like, that's a fucking dope ass website if they own that
John
shit.
Tesh?
I know, right? They just own Tesh.
John Tesh?
They just own Tesh.com, or are they just promoting John Tesh, his website? It's fucking weird, dude. It's okay. Someone's saying this isn't bad. Spec saying this isn't bad.
People in the pleb chat were saying that too.
It's not good though. It's like almost good, right? It's not though. It's as far as comedy rap goes, you don't have to be good to be effective, but I feel like this still needs to be a little better. I'm not impressed at all, and I'm not enjoying it at all. But I guess I'm not cringing terribly.
Metal Dooley, $5. Is Wild Bill falling on hard time? Oh yeah, we already read that one. T-Lup, $5. Wild Bill is 100% wrong. Cops don't have to do their job, and it's legal thanks to Castle Rock versus Gonzalez. Scalia said police have no obligation to protect the public, even though a restraining order issued by a court said the cops had to. 3 kids died. Wild Bill. What a retard. Comrade Adam, I want to say I love DP. Billy's a sweet boy, and Brendan should bring back the mask. Are you saying I'm ugly? Fuck you, man.
Ooh.
Also, I'd like you guys to try alternate news like Empire Files, Telesur, Jimmy, Arm the Poor Door. We've had Jimmy on the show. Redacted Tonight. It would make for interesting discussions.
Redacted Tonight. It probably would. You guys should, if you guys find good articles on there, send them in.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, reading articles is one thing. I don't want to, and watching like a major news network and covering their videos is very easily covered under fair use. But if it's just someone that produces content on YouTube, I feel weird about taking their stuff and using it usually. Like if it's someone like that, like Jimmy Dore or something. Deadpool 3E. There's an animal called a hairy frog, also known as the Wolverine frog. The hair is found on breeding males to absorb the more water. Cool. But I don't think Kermit's a Wolverine frog.
We don't know that.
I think that frog is also known as a nightmare frog, and it has an absolutely terrifying ability. It can break its own bones and then essentially eject those from its skin to now have defensive tools.
That is fucking awesome.
What a crazy fucking animal.
The nightmare frog?
Yeah.
It sounds
Why are we not
crazy.
breeding these with like other animals to make massive attack fucking amphibians?
Why not just
wait, sorry. horror frog.
They have animal human embryos.
The frogs are gay and they can shoot bones out of their fucking boners.
He did say that they made like animal human hybrid embryos and shit.
That's so hardcore. I stole that from chat. Someone said, "Damn, that's hardcore," and I'm like, "That's so hardcore. That's so hardcore."
Stealing from the chat.
You could break your fucking bones and shoot them out of your body. Give me that ability. That's a great superhero ability. I wonder if like they've ever had a superhero that does that. Just shoots fucking bone shards out of his body.
Yes, the character's name was Maggot.
Oh yeah.
Was a member of the new X-Men in the 90s.
Maggot.
Maggot.
She created bone spurs essentially, and then would throw them as knives.
That is awesome.
There was a character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that could do that. That had like bone, like I can't remember her name right now.
Oh, Marrow. Yeah.
Marrow. Yeah.
Chat just mentioned that.
Yeah. Marrow had like bones that she could pull off as knives.
Maybe I am thinking wrong. It wasn't Maggot. It was Marrow.
Ah.
But yeah. Who the fuck was Maggot then? Why do I have that in my head?
Marrow. We need a fucking Marrow movie. Marrow was a
so
good
obscure.
guy, right? I don't care. I want it. Marvel should commission these like lower budget films to be done by like these Blumhouse directors who are doing horror movies for like $15 million movies that are coming making like 100,000. Get them to do these smaller movies where they give them like a $30 million budget to do like the Marrow.
I want them
story.
to make the Endless movie. If DC is smart, they will make a rated R movie about the Endless, which is like a group of, they're not like heroes or villains, they're just like these eternal beings. And that like and the Sandman is like the main focus of it, but there's also like death and there's a whole bunch of them.
That's cool.
One's like a genderless one. It's really weird. Let me see.
Would it make a better movie or series, you think?
You know, with the way they make series now, where they're basically movies that last like multiple seasons, I would say anything at this point could be a better series just because you can, you know, make it longer and make it more detailed.
Does DC have their own streaming platform now? Isn't that what they released?
Who?
DC Comics. Don't they have their own like Netflix now just for DC?
I don't know.
I think that's what they released.
See, these are the Endless.
Yeah, they got the fat dude.
Yeah, he's Destruction.
Well, I can play him. I can fucking play him.
So there's Death, Destiny, Dream, Destruction, Desire, Delirium, and Despair. Maybe it's Despair.
I can play the naked fat dude easily. Like, he's got hair like me and everything. You know what? Let's petition DC to pick this up as a TV series. I'll play him.
The one in the red like pajamas is the one that's like genderless.
Yeah, that's cute. Looks like a Michael Jackson a little bit.
And then Dream is the Sandman, and he's the really tall one in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think Destruction is the one that's... Oh, no, that's Destiny. Destiny's the one that's chained to the book. And Death is the girl, the goth girl on the left.
Ben, we're going to have to get the podcast up to a level where we can go to Los Angeles and live there so I can start doing movies on the side. Okay? We got to do this. What are we going to have to do?
Yeah, they're just like knocking down doors to get you in movies.
They would be. If I was in LA, you know how easy it was for me to get work when I was in LA? I'm a fucking...
Yeah, it was easy for you to get work to be like a little pawn in the game of some fucking madman with $1 billion in the bank.
Yeah, but then I would go to like a party and I'd get brought onto like an MTV show or some other thing. Yeah. It's so easy for me to get in things down there. I never once went to an audition.
Yeah, it was easy for you to get into an RV trip that ended up like breaking down in Ohio.
You can trivialize the things I've done, but there's not just one thing I've done that defines me.
Okay.
I've done so many things. If I was in LA, I guarantee within 1 year I'd be on a fucking Marvel TV show playing the Blob or fucking
Blob.
or Mojo or something.
Mojo.
Yeah. I'd be a killer
I would
fucking
think,
Mojo.
I would think Mojo would be mostly CGI.
Yeah, they could CGI. I could put a little green pants on and have my body have the dangle fucking things, and they could CGI the rest of it.
Dangle things.
I'd be a dope Mojo, dude.
I don't think Mojo is slated to be in any type of
Why not?
movie.
If I was down there, you know, I go
Not
down
only would Billy get a role in the movie, he would write the movie
Yes.
and get them to buy
Yes.
the movie and make it.
Yes. I would.
But
I
yeah,
would,
this is something I really hope that they would make.
Well, let's pitch it.
came
I
out
could
in-
play the fat dude there.
It came out in '89.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Gaiman wrote a lot of the Sandman stuff.
I really want the something I really want. I've seen it out there. It's kind of expensive, but it's the entire series in one big book. I think that would be pretty cool.
How much is it?
I haven't looked in a while, but I think it was like around $100 or something.
If I bought it and read it and then gave it to you, would you want my sticky fingers all over it?
Why would you jerk off to it? That's
I didn't
so
say
weird.
I was going to jerk off to it. I just, my fingers might have been sticky. Are you one of those collectors that likes your books unread?
No, not necessarily. I don't know why it would be
Get
sticky
rid of colored
though.
folks. I'm not fucking stupid. I was sharing anecdotal experiences.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not being edgy. I'm just telling you what I've been exposed to. I'm not a fucking idiot. In fact, I'm a genius, and if you'd like to test it, I'm here.
I don't even want to test it. I just want you on.
Who's calling him an idiot?
I want you on the show now.
Did we call him an idiot?
No,
I don't think so.
I think that you know, it's a situation where we definitely want you on the show, not to test you, just to fucking sit down and talk. I like your stories. I think that there's more room here to delve into them in a one-on-one level. But that being said, I want to be in a Marvel movie now, so I want to, before I lose all my fatness, I want to play one of the great fat characters.
What if there's no plan to put a fat character in a movie? They're not going to create a new character in a movie that they're already making just because you want to be a fat character in a movie. You don't have that type of stroke. I'm sorry.
My God. If we get the collective audience to call for this endless show and we start a fucking endless petition and then it catches on, and from the jump, they're like, Billy the Fridge should play the fat guy. It would be perfect. He's perfect for that. And as the grow for that goes, the grow for Bill Fridge will grow because they're like, oh, yeah, this guy does look like that.
We need to have this fucking episode with the psychologist in here really, really soon, man.
I'm saying. I honestly think if we sat down with a psychologist, by the end of the episode, the psychologist would be like, you're actually one of the greatest human beings I've ever talked to. And there's good reason that you don't have a psychologist regularly, because you have it more together than I do. Because I've had this conversation with psychologists before. They always are in awe of how
you're so fucking
well
full of yourself, dude. It's so retarded.
Is it? Is it?
Is it? Yes, you are like the textbook narcissist that falls in love with his own reflection.
I mean, look, I have body dysmorphia issues, morbid obesity.
God.
It took me a long time to realize that none of that mattered. All right? None of that mattered.
Okay.
I am the reflection in the mirror that I should be looking at. We all are. You all should look at yourselves like you're the most important person in the room.
Bad advice.
You 100% should, because you're in charge of you. You're the only one driving you. All right? If you doubt yourself, other people will start doubting you too. Last thing you need to do is be your opposition. You need to be your own fucking champion. Your best advocate. But we all can't believe in ourselves the way that most people believe in God.
So you're basically like
I'm a practitioner.
You believe in The Secret.
Fuck The Secret.
Yeah.
The Secret is it's got some reality to it. It does, but I'm beyond The Secret.
I'm the
You're
fucking
so full of shit.
I believe in the writing on the wall.
You are so full of shit.
All right,
Getting ready to manifest.
I'm the limerick on the bathroom stall that people read while they're taking a shit and brightens
Here
their day.
I sit brokenhearted, tried to shit but only farted.
It's true. It's true.
I don't think that's a limerick, but it was a poem about shitting that I read on a bathroom stall before.
I'm like that. All right, fuck the secret. I'm the message.
Uh-huh. Okay, Billy.
And I should be whatever fat superhero there is before I lose all this weight and I have to play some sort of deflated balloon superhero.
I know. Man, I'm losing weight really fast. Gotta hurry up, play a fat
I
superhero.
do. I gotta get in there before
Spielberg's just waiting for me.
Before the only character I can play is the sugar glider because I have all that excess skin from all the awesome weight I'm losing. Like, honestly, it would be narcissism.
No, we're going to the post show now.
It would be narcissism if it wasn't all backed up.
If they did a live action version of The Nightmare Before Christmas, you could do the
I could be Oogie Boogie. Yeah. I'd make a good Oogie Boogie.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a textbook narcissist. You got to admit it.
I mean, do you have to admit it, though?
You literally believe they're going to make new roles in movies just for you.
The manifestation has worked for me before. Why would it stop now?
It's never worked to that degree.
Are you sure?
Yes. You have never starred in a Hollywood blockbuster film.
You realize what a god is. A god is a creator. I'm a creator. I've created instances in my life that cannot be...
Ed Wood was a creator, too. He created some stuff.
Yeah. That's amazing. But I've manifested things in my life that people can't just work for. It was mysticism and whimsy that got me to where I was.
Billy would make a good Andre the Giant. He's not tall enough.
Well, we could do CGI. If they could make fucking Gandalf look like a giant next to Frodo.
You want them to... This is going to be like a high-budget film.
It might have to be. I don't want to be the one that says that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Good, because other people have already said that.
But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to turn you off to thinking that. Matter of fact, it's my job.
Not say
it's my job to make you think that I am that at all cost. And I can't just say it because you don't just believe everything everybody says. I have to continually do it. My actions have to prove that I am that. And if I'm not doing that, okay, you could be the skeptic. But you can sit back and fucking pick apart.
Someone said Billy's having a Kanye moment. He is.
I really, that's so kind of you to say.
I knew he was going to do that too. I knew that would be his response.
I'm just a giant next to all you Frodos.
Hairy toad little people.
Oh yeah, giant haystacks or haystacks Calhoun.
Haystacks Calhoun.
I fucking hate that I lost so much weight because at 600 pounds, I would have killed it as Haystacks Calhoun.
What, in the Hogan movie?
In the Hogan movie or like the Vince McMahon biopic?
They wouldn't even put Haystacks is so fucking irrelevant.
I could play Haystacks Calhoun.
Hillbilly Jim was better, like, but Hillbilly Jim wasn't fat. You could have been One Man Gang. Oh, you can't grow a beard. Well, you know, magic of Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Hollywood, man. They could green screen that shit in.
They green screen your beard. You'd have to cut your hair too, unless you want to green screen that in too.
I just think, look, I think that there's many opportunities.
King Kong Bundy. You have to wear a bald cap.
I would shave my head to play King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy would be in the Hogan movie. He should be anyway. He was one of Hogan's first like big monster opponents.
I should see if they'll fucking sign me on to play King Kong Bundy. I gotta get into the casting department there, because I got a blue check mark. Like I can get a little further than most randoms on the internet.
Got to send out your agents.
I don't have agents. Everything I've ever done in my life was because I fucking accidentally fell into it. I'm here right now because of some bullshit I did with Onision, right?
I mean that just kind of happens. I mean, yeah. I'm here now for reasons, right?
Yeah.
That I fell into.
Exactly.
So
I never had a fucking agent dictating this shit. I'm just like, whoop, here we are. Let's do something.
All right. Unfortunately, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah,
we are going to move into the after show as well.
Yeah, so we're going to do the post show if you want to see this prank call that we're going to attempt to do.
It could be a fucking failure. It could be the most amazing thing in the world. So come on and figure it out if you're
catch
a Patreon.
Faggots.
Whoa.
I love you on baiting.
You a bitch on baiting, you fucking SJW piece of shit.
Are you going to be a part of the post show on baiting?
Well, he's qualified.
Yeah, so come on in tonight and we'll sit and talk with you. And then
thanks for helping us meet our goal. Obviously, another bonus show.
Like whatever Ben says, I love you, and I think that you and I should.
He told you to talk shit right now. He gave us $100.
I'm saying we should move to Hollywood. We should move to Hollywood and try out for all these movies. Me and I'm baiting together,
dude.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. No, but appreciate you on baiting. Appreciate everybody who donated tonight. Appreciate everybody who sat here and watched us. Appreciate you, Skep Talk. Check out your podcast one more time with the name.
Mass Hysteria.
Mass Hysteria. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's a good name. Solid name. I know names. All right. See you guys in the post show. Good night to the rest of you.
Woo woo.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants, Drunken Peasants.